Flight by Yingling is raising the bar by crafting the next generation of light beer. With only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Flight by Yingling. Raise the bar.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Breaking news. Chiefs receiver Rashee Rice sentenced to 30 days in jail after testing positive for marijuana, a violation of the terms of probation for his role in a crash that left multiple people injured on a Dallas highway 2 years ago. A day after the Spurs and Thunder kicked off the NBA's West Finals with a double overtime thriller, the Knicks welcomed the Cavaliers in Game 1 of the East Finals, 7:30 Eastern ESPN Radio, 8 Eastern ESPN. New York's 7-game winning streak has coincided with running the offense through Karl Anthony Towns. How Cleveland plays Cat is one thing to keep an eye on as this series begins, says ESPN NBA analyst Iman Shumpert.
The Cavaliers are equipped to guard Karl Anthony Towns, but the gifts that Karl Anthony Towns have with shooting the ball, as well as being able to throw that late pass, his ability to make sure that the floor stays balanced, the ball moves side to side, and that Jalen Brunson can pick his spots to be dangerous and get downhill.
After a last-place finish in the NHL, Canucks fired coach Adam Foote after 1 year.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy. Coming up Wednesday, I'll tell you what Wemby will do for an encore in Game 2 and why this series could be over quicker than we thought. It's Unsportsmanlike, weekday mornings at 6, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
That's right.
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
You. Ooh. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Shea Dixon in 15 minutes. Toby Rowland is the radio voice of the Oklahoma Sooners. He'll be here in hour number 2. Zach Brazier? Braziller?
I don't think it's Brazier.
Braziller?
No.
Braziller?
I mean, Braziller is how it's spelled.
Braziller?
Braziller.
He's going to talk about one of the 26-year-old transfers that Will Wade has coming in, who's like a former Big East Player of the Year, who's been playing pro basketball for like the Jazz and the Celtics, but now is coming back into college because that's what we do now in college, or at least here.
Yeah, at least here. That's like half the class.
What is happening? All right. Hit the show open, Muse.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
All right. Every season, there's always some version of this show where you wake up on a day and you know your season could end. And today is that day for LSU Baseball. And every time they take the field for the rest of this week, however long that is, it could be the day that their season ends. And that's always a little nerve-wracking. But typically this is in regional, super regional, or Omaha. And there's just different stakes. Now, LSU is just trying to extend their season a day on a hope and a prayer to be able to get into regional play. And, Jay Johnson was a guest on Feinbaum yesterday and basically compared this week to College World Series.
I'd send a text to the staff kind of outlining the next, 48 hours. And, when we're talking about preparing for Oklahoma, this is our Omaha this year. And, this is the postseason experience, unless we win 5 games in a row, that the returning players will have. So we need to, again, create as much value out of that as we possibly can. We're treating tomorrow night's game like Game 3 of the championship series.
So tomorrow, of course, is today. Now, that was Feinbaum on Monday when Jay had gotten to there to Hoover. So he's treating today like Game 3 of the College World Series, so as to say, you don't leave any bullets left in the gun. If your starting pitcher is struggling in the first inning and you're down, you have to go make a change because there is no tomorrow if you don't win today. So you have to be all in to win today. So it's going to be William Schmidt against Gavin Jones. And this pitching matchup kind of illustrates the contrasting approaches that Jay Johnson and Skip Johnson took this past weekend. Skip Johnson is still with Oklahoma trying to earn their way into regional play. They're 14-16. That should be good enough to get them an at-large berth in the NCAA tournament. And a win in Hoover would solidify it, but it's probably inconsequential at this point. At 14-16, Oklahoma is very likely in. Jay Johnson knew last weekend against Florida just didn't matter a lick for the regionals. And I would imagine for Jay Johnson, that might be the first time in his career as a college coach that he coached a quote-unquote meaningless game, a game that had just no postseason implications whatsoever. So I'm sure that was uncomfortable last weekend for Jay Johnson, knowing he was going out there without his best every day because he had to have his best for this week, and that starts today. So it's William Schmidt, who they held against Florida. Schmidt, just if you contrast the two starting pitchers, Schmidt, 64 innings pitched on the season, 85 strikeouts, 31 walks. Obviously, the walk total has been too high. He's going against Gavin Jones. Gavin Jones does not have a record on the season. He's got an ERA of 6. He's thrown just 20 1/3 innings, 19 strikeouts, 13 walks, so command has been a problem for Gavin Jones. The scouting report on Jones, got a good fastball, 93-97. He's got a plus changeup, but his breaking ball stinks. So spit on the breaking ball, sit fastball, changeup, and see if you can make some hay against the guy that basically is a good, not great lefty reliever. The fact that LSU's best guy is going today against a good, not great reliever from Oklahoma kind of tells you the story. I would assume with a lefty on the bump, at least to start for Oklahoma, the regulars that'll be in there. Curry will be in center. Braun will be at first. Ruckert will be at second. I think the question is, do you load up the lineup with righties? Obviously, Milam turns around to the right side with the lefty on the bump. Aaron Beatty and Cern will be in the lineup. One will DH, one will catch. I would guess Pearson to be at third. Patrick and Stanfield will be your other outfielders. That loads your lineup with righties. And if you need lefties, you could certainly go that way. You've got other right-handed options with Yaman and Simpson, but let's just be honest at this point, you're not testing and theorizing with Yaman and Simpson. You're going with your best guys, and that's likely what Jay's going to do. For what it's worth, Gavin Jones did throw against LSU earlier this season. He threw in the third game of the series. He came in with 1 out in the 5th inning and faced 4 hitters. He gave up a hit, he walked a guy, and then recorded 2 outs. So Gavin Jones on the bump today against LSU as the Tigers try to keep their season alive for another day. If LSU does win, they would advance to take on Auburn on Wednesday in another elimination game. Paul, what is wrong with this photo? Is that what is that reflection? Can we take that off the? Sorry, that's just really distracted me. What is that? No, for real. What was that? Was that just a?
That was just the actual photo.
That's so weird. Did you notice that was like a reflect? It's like sometimes when you take a photo of your TV and the living room is reflecting against your TV.
Yeah,
that's what that looked like. Anyway. Jay, we'll talk a little bit more about what Jay had to say with Paul Feinbaum. Hopefully it doesn't get to this until we're, much deeper into the off season. But at least past this week. But Jay was also asked by Feinbaum how he would characterize how this season has gone for this baseball team.
Looking at it in its totality, from the outside, how could something like this happen, to a team or a program like ours? And it's really simple. There's a few injuries. There's a few things with the MLB draft. Like, that's different than every other sport. Like, we lost 8 recruits to the MLB draft that could have been on our team this year. And some guys haven't maybe performed as well as we want them to, or maybe they're capable of, and it's kind of a combination of all that. With that being said, it doesn't make it easier playing in the best league in America, where every weekend you're playing a super regional, and no different than any other year. There's some really good teams and great programs in the SEC this year, and that's what you're tested and you're measured against, and we haven't quite been good enough this year.
Very honest assessment by Jay Johnson. See if the Tigers can extend their season by another day. It's LSU in Oklahoma. Scheduled for the first pitch tonight is at 8 o'clock there in Hoover on the SEC network. Obviously, we'll see if they are able to stay on time. Right now, they just went to commercial. But Game 2 is going on right now with Kentucky and Vanderbilt. They're in the bottom of the 4th. Actually going to the top of the 5th now with Kentucky leading Vandy 3-1. Missouri advanced, beating Ole Miss 10-8 in the first game of the day. So we'll keep you posted. After this game with Kentucky and Vandy, they've still got South Carolina, Tennessee before LSU, Oklahoma. So buckle up. It'll very likely be a late night for the baseball Tigers. All right, it's after further review. Our show open every day is brought to you by Bud Light. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR, the official beer, your Fighting Tigers of LSU, whether you're at the box, whether you're at Tiger Park, whether you're at the PMAC Tiger Stadium, your favorite restaurant, watering hole, or in your own backyard, or just having dinner and want a cold one. Make sure you drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light. Our friends over at Mockler Beverage, awesome people, great supporters of the Tigers, great supporters of our community, employ more than 200 people, 40 years in the biz, a great local family. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR. All right, let me knock out a quick break. Every Tuesday, we chat with Shea Dixon from On3, the Bengal Tiger. Big blow for Lane Kiffin's recruiting class for 2027 when Joshua Dobson, the 5-star #1 cornerback in America, a day ago, it was reported, will not take his official visit to LSU. Instead, he'll head to Michigan. What happened? We'll talk about it with Shea next on AFR.
AFR.
If you want to feel like your younger self, our friends over at Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness can help you do that. Yes, they do ED treatments, but they do so much more than just ED treatments. Hormone replacement therapy. Men, if you're already on HRT, it's time to switch to Goodwood. They have the lowest prices, never any contracts. You're not paying any membership fee like some clinics charge you, and they pick up the cost for your blood labs. If you do those every 3 months, every 6 months, whatever it may be, they pick up the cost, so you will save money. It's the same product, and you're going to get the best prices on it at Goodwood. Why wouldn't you switch? YourGoodwood.com, YourGoodwood.com, YourGoodwood.com. And if you're interested in peptides, you've heard me talk about peptides. Every other ad you see in the world today is about peptides. I've been telling you about peptides quite literally for 2 years now. And my experience with things like NAD Plus and BPC 157, I get my peptides at Goodwood. You should as well. YourGoodwood.com.
Raising Cane's Texas Toast is a thick slice of bread, garlic butter spread, grilled to golden perfection, and made to order just for you. Because when you make it right, you can taste it in every bite. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish Contractors can do it all. Mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country. in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Big shout out to Rooney, to Grace, to all our friends over at Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Awesome peeps. Bunking below. You want a deer, you know where you're going. Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Every Tuesday, we talk to Shea Dixon on 3, the Bengal Tiger. Talk a little Cruton. He joins us now. Yo, Shady, what up, bro?
I'm doing well. How are you, Matt?
Man, I'm doing awesome. Hey, there's a bunch of football stuff I want to get into. But first of all, you have a thought on Will Wade's basketball class he's building, or maybe an explanation of how he's able to get all these international guys that have been in pro ball and all this stuff?
Yeah, I think that it's clear one thing: the international to college route is one that's easier to take relative to the NCAA rules right now than attempting to get guys who have signed a professional contract in the States, to play in the NBA or play in the G League. And we've seen them in the headlines with a number of international guys. And Will Wade said this team is going to be heavy on older international players. So I think we have to kind of wait and see there kind of how it unfolds. But in the past couple of days, Matt, I think the bigger thing, right, is landing these transfers, or one transfer, I guess, and a UTSA guard, Austin Nunez, who probably is going to be a backup role for you, my guess is. But today, this RJ Luis news, I mean, you were talking about a guy who was the Big East Player of the Year just, a year ago, goes pro. A lot of people thought he shouldn't, ends up not getting drafted, signs a two-way deal, but never actually logs any minutes. And I think that's what they're going to lean on here. He signs with LSU, so they will take this to court, or at least go against battle the NCAA here for his eligibility to be reinstated for his final year. And look, we saw it play out with Bediako. At Bama, we've seen it play out with others, but the notable difference being those guys logged minutes in G League games or NBA games, and RJ Luis was hurt and didn't. Now, the NCAA rules just say if you sign a pro contract in the NBA, you've exhausted your eligibility, and that's how they stood by it. But clearly, if Wade's been going after this for about a month plus now, they feel like they've got some sort of shot to push it through.
Okay. We'll keep an eye on that with RJ Lewis, who is he's signed or committed, Shay?
It was reported signed. I think either way, right? It's like you're playing this waiting game to find out what happens with the court case.
Okay. All right. A lot that I want to get into here, because Lane Kiffin and his staff are clearly still looking to add for 26, and there was some pretty significant 27 news. Let's start with the 26 guys that were visiting. I want to ask you about Ian Ray, the edge who visited this weekend. It sounds like it went well. Can you give us the bio on Ray for those that aren't familiar, and how that's looking?
Yeah, this is a guy who popped up late, very late, right? We're after spring ball here, and had been in the portal, had re-entered the portal after initially entering it, but had not signed anywhere, and said, that he's still looking around. He's been at Emory and Henry, so he's playing D2 ball, but visited Vandy, got a Vandy offer, got offered by LSU, got brought in for a visit, and said everything went well. But just based off of what I've heard so far, it seems like they might not feel they have as pressing a need at that edge spot as they did with the corner position when they had brought in a handful of visitors. This is the only edge rusher we saw them bring in, and maybe the only guy who's really out there. But he left. He hasn't committed anywhere, not Vandy, not LSU. So I'm told he's going to keep exploring his options. At the same time, I'd expect LSU probably to just keep moving along forward here. And if a late addition pops up, great. If not, Aiden Andy got hurt in spring ball, and that's when you presented this idea of Lane Kiffin of, hey, look, when one backup went down, it really drove home this reality that we don't have a lot of depth there. Well, their top target at corner was the first guy they brought in and got a commitment out of that very first weekend, and then we saw other visitors. So even if you don't add any more JUCO corners, I think adding Levante Williams early on out of Georgia Military Academy at JUCO at least fills Anning's role after what did he suffer, Matt? I think you reported it. Was it a torn Achilles
Yeah.
that Andy suffered? But, so he'll be sidelined. So you've at least got one guy into that void left by a player like Anding, who was battling, for a backup role in the two deep.
Did they have, I know we talked about it last week, Shea, but weren't they expecting one or two more JUCO corner visitors this past weekend?
They had, yes, and I think it was really one came in, didn't his name's Javier Jones, ended up visiting and then ultimately didn't get offered, committed to Florida. And the other was a kid coming out of Itawamba. Gosh, why am I blanking on his name right now? Dylan Johnson. And he was down to LSU and NC State and was leaning LSU's way and then kind of reversed course to NC State. And I'm told he's kind of pressing pause on things and he's going to feel out his options and go forward from there. So kind of right now it's all quiet on the front there with relative to who else can they add before this upcoming season, which granted you are kind of at the end of the line here, bottom of, I don't want to make that sound bad, but bottom of the barrel in terms of portal guys. Most everyone is signed everywhere. And then JUCO is really your only other avenue to go find players that you can add to this year's roster.
So is, I guess to say, is it, are they good with where they are at corner with numbers and adding Levante Williams, or are they, maybe another way to ask it, Jay, is like, would they add someone just to add a warm body, or are they looking for something specific, a talent skill development level?
No, I think that they are good with where they at. I think with where they're at. I think Dylan Johnson out of Itawamba had the green light to commit, and certainly could have or could, or however that might unfold for him. But what I picked up on is they're not actively out there continuing that search just because they feel like that. Like Haven Finney, early enrolled, he looked great at the end of spring ball. You knew Jakeem Jackson was your third guy, and you got some others in that room. So look, if you get to those guys anyways, that means something happened with Pickett and Woodland, and you're already in very bad shape, and nothing you're going to do right now depth-wise could fix that. So, I think they're probably okay for this season with just one addition.
Shea Dixon on 3, the Bengal Tiger. He's on Twitter at Shea Dixon. You can follow him there. All right, Shea, the big news, a week ago, you and I talked about Will Fong moving his projection for Joshua Dobson to Texas A&M. Now we get the word a day ago that Dobson has canceled his official visit to LSU. Okay, what's going on?
Right. We're 7 months from signing day, and a school that had led for a lot of the way is now just not getting an official visit. And I think this is a case in point of the new era of college athletics when they talk about you're not going to be able to stack elite players at a position. Let's just make it cornerback here, right? This is the example. I mean, you've got DJ Pickett on your roster right now as a number one corner coming out of high school, and he still has 2 more years left, right? So by the time Josh Dobson gets to campus, DJ Pickett would be a junior. He's in his biggest year, right? Relative to a money year, NFL future, all of that. Then you've got Haven Finney, who is unique here. Remember, he reclassified. So he was the number one corner in this class, moved ahead, got into an older group of guys, finished a little bit outside that top handful of corners in the country. But you're also in this NIL world, Matt, where corners a valued position like that. And if you're giving DJ Pickett, rightfully so, cornerback one type of NIL deals, then you've got so much faith in a guy like Haven Finney who's coming behind him. And I'm not skipping over PJ Woodland. He's just older than those guys. So this is, I'd guess, is probably his last year, and then he's going pro. But then you've got Finney. And then if he progresses like that, he's getting cornerback one type of NIL, offers. If it's not LSU, it's coming from somewhere else. So you do what you can to keep him. Can you then do that same thing with Dobson when those two other guys are still on the team? And I think it just got to a point where, as more teams kind of continued to get in the race and say, here's what we can do, that LSU eventually says, hey, look, this is our pitch. This is Corey Raymond's development, kind of where things stand. And if not, we'll move on. And both parties did. And look, I don't think we can knock it. It's better that that kind of stuff happens now than before signing day or gets kept quiet and you sort of get left at the altar. So an easy way for them to reset right now. You've already been on the road for a while. You've been recruiting other corners, so it's not like you're putting together a new board, but it is kind of odd to just say, hey, we've been recruiting this guy priority number one, and now 7 months before signing day, he's replacing us with a team that's really not even been in the mix and still has 4 or 5 official visits to come. But that's just kind of where we're at. And again, I think it's better to find that out now than later. And that's just the business side of college football when we're talking this really elite level quarterback, cornerback, edge. If they're saying it's a lot like the NFL, those are the valued positions.
Shea, are there other corners that Corey Raymond and the staff are currently pursuing for 27?
Yeah, there are, and they've already had a handful of official visits scheduled. So while I would say, look, there's 3 kids probably in Texas that I'd keep a close eye on, and that includes Greedy James, who we had an article in the Bengal Tiger today about. Sam Spiegelman caught up with him. He's a Texas commit out of Manville, but has family in the New Orleans area. And he said Notre Dame and LSU have really been pushing hardest to get him flipped, and now he's going to official visit to both schools as well as the Longhorns. And there's some other kids over there, Shadow Creek, Katascasita, that have corners that they have a lot more corners at those 2 schools that have probably 10 kids that have college offers on those teams, but that they've been recruiting. And then down in Florida, Mekhi Williams, who's a safety, but 6'2", someone that Corey Raymond likes at corner. So he's one that we're keeping an eye on. He's Florida State's highest ranked commit, but he's been looking around. He's already going to take an LSU official visit. He's been making other visits. So I don't know how right now if FSU even has this sort of grip to keep guys like that when schools like LSU or Miami or others come calling. It's just odd for us to say, but that's just been where Florida State's been at in recent years. But then here's your prototypical one, Matt. Here's your perfect Corey Raymond corner is on the same day that this Josh Dobson news comes out publicly, which, look, LSU knew about this behind the scenes. They were set to go see him this week, and they're not. So, I mean, they knew how things were unfolding. I mean, when you have agents involved in all of that, it's not that much of a secret. You're having these discussions if you have to. But on the same day, he was seeing Marquez Davis, and I won't make you guess. He is in Opelousas, and I won't make you guess again, Matt. He's at Northwest. I don't even know if I could name anyone who's come out of Northwest, notably in the past decade, 2 decades in football. But this is a kid who is a 1,000+ point scorer in basketball already. He's 6'3", long arms.
I was about to say, let me guess, 6'3", 175.
Yep.
3-star, can flip his hips, really athletic. Basically, Corey's a ball of clay that he wants to mold into a future first-rounder.
You stole it all. I'll fill in the blanks. Unranked, no rankings, and he's got college basketball offers. He's got some football offers as well, obviously. But a guy that, and then even beyond that, he's been listed as a receiver, and that's what he primarily plays, but he plays both ways. And Corey was at his scrimmage yesterday and watching him, and he'll visit at the end of the month with his family, and I'm not going to be surprised at all if they don't try to just offer, get him committed, and get that done, because he's clearly one of, and there's always guys like that. I mean, you can remember, we're getting older, but it was yesterday when Mo Claiborne came out of Fair Park, and he was not ranked. He was a 3-star at the end. He was playing every position, and you get into camp and you get a feel for it, and you decide, okay, I'm playing corner for sure. And then you look up and he's the number 6 pick in the NFL draft. So guys like that are here in Louisiana. And I think that that's who they're circling when you're pivoting off of, hey, we're trying not to get involved in the highest NIL wars out there. You go for development, and that's this type of player.
He's Shea Dixon on 3, the Bengal Tiger. We talk Cruton every week. Make sure you give him a follow at Shea Dixon. Shea, we appreciate it as always. Thank you.
Yep. Have a good one, Matt.
All right, man. You do the same. It's after further review. I have some thoughts on what we just talked about there with Shea Dobson, the whole cornerback thing. We get to that in about 45 minutes from right now. We're brought to you by Parish Restoration, parishrestoration.com. Kill mold, remove odor, or other harmful pathogens. It's mold remediation done right the first time. This is more effective. It's more cost-effective. It's more efficient. I mean, they can come in and fog your home in like half a day. So you're out at work, perfect. Parish will come in, spray their patented non-toxic dry fog, close up all the windows and doors. They'll let the fog dwell. As soon as it dissipates, boom, you're back in free, clear, clean, sanitized, great smelling. It's Parish Restoration, not just your home, though. Any size commercial building. You need to sanitize a doctor's office, church, school, grocery store, gym, workout facility, anything. parishrestoration.com. parishrestoration.com. All right, it's after further review. Glad you're hanging out with us here. Lane Kiffin has resurfaced on social media. Get to that here in just a smidge. Clemson is in about, let's call it 10 figures of debt, and we'll go around the SEC. We'll do all that. Stick around here. It's AFR.
AFR.
GLO. GlowResources.com. GlowResources.com. Our friends over at Glow Resources, Jareth Nakan and the gang, they're just awesome, man. They're great at what they do because they commit their days every day to helping businesses like yours find the best people, permanent employer solutions. So they're going to help you find the best people for whatever job it is that you're trying to fill. So I always encourage you, log on to glowresources.com, glowresources.com, G-L-O, glowresources.com. It doesn't matter if you're looking for an employee in Baton Rouge or New Orleans or Houston or Atlanta or Montana or Africa. It doesn't matter. At Glow Resources, they help you find permanent employees, skilled blue-collar labor, any type of office job, up to the C-suite. Log on to glowresources.com to get started today. If you're an employer looking for the candidate for the hard-to-find job, Glow Resources can help. glowresources.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has the new 25 Jeep Grand Cherokee with $15,000 off MSRP.
Plus the 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou vehicles.
If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
If your office is experiencing performance issues like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files, Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging, and security systems, they help offices regain confidence naturally. Side effects may include uncontrollable efficiency, smoother workflows, and a sudden burst of office joy. Say goodbye to those emotional breakdowns in the supply closet and get back on track with Advanced Office Systems.
Who bears the standard? Who sets the bar? It's not those satisfied by low-hanging fruit or by taking it easy. Now the standard is set by the best of us, by those who work hard. Dig deeper. Give more. At Sunshine, we're proud to provide John Deere products that work hard for you, the standard bearers. Find the dealer nearest you at sunequip.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. Look, back pain can sideline you from the things you love. That's why I trust Dr. Kevin McCarthy and the team at the Spine Center of Louisiana. Dr. McCarthy doesn't just treat symptoms. He gets to the root of the problem. From advanced injection therapy to minimally invasive surgery, they've got the expertise to get you back in the game. With 5 locations across Louisiana, including...
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
These fields in the hot summer sun, over by the gate, Lordy, here she comes with a basket full of chicken and a big cold jug of sweet tea. I make a little room and she climbs on up.
Lane Kiffin has resurfaced. Last time we saw him was a photo of him and his nephew, Cookie Kiffin, out on a boat catching some reds, some big reds out there as well. Well, today the guys from Pardon My Take, that's a Barstool thing, posted a photo of 6 a.m. hot yoga, and there's some of the Barstool guys and Lane Kiffin and some ladies there from the hot yoga class. So there's the photo right there. If you're watching with us, if you're not, you can go look at Pardon My Take on Twitter or any of the social media accounts. You can see it there. So. Looks like Lane is getting his workouts in still, back from his boating excursion. Some people have asked me, like, did LSU tell Lane Kiffin to get off of social media? Not that I've been told. And the Barstool guys, as I understand, were in town today to interview Lane for Pardon My Take, so that episode will drop here soon. After last week, he did the Vanity Fair piece published. So I don't think anybody's telling Lane Kiffin anything. So whatever. Look, man. I'm going to say the thing that everybody knows. When you hired Lane Kiffin, you knew what you were getting. This is it. He's a lightning rod. He's going to say controversial things. When he's not on your side, you love to hate him. When he is on your side, you love him. You take the good with the bad. He's a brilliant offensive coach. That's undeniable. It's going to come with a lot of the other stuff, too. The hot yoga, the Twitter, the social media, the everyday. I'm sure there are folks over with sports information and with communications in the athletic department and the university that every day they open their Twitter, open social media, they hold their breath wondering what Lane posted that day. That's just part of the Lane Kiffin experience. I'm not going to complain about it. It's amazing. Every time I put Lane Kiffin's name or face on anything we do, it explodes. So I ain't complaining about it. So he'll go out there and do whatever. So anyway, Lane Kiffin resurfaced today. If you want to see, apparently that Pardon My, as I understand it, they recorded today for Pardon My Take, and that'll drop soon. And when it does, we'll listen to it and see if he says anything interesting. As will, I'm sure, the rest of the college football-loving world, notably the people from Oxford, Mississippi, who are just waiting to hate listen to anything Lane Kiffin says. And then we'll laugh at them. All right, it's After Further Review. Thanks for hanging out with us. We are brought to you by Parrish Construction and Roofing. Voted by you, the best roofing company in the best of Baton Rouge for 2026. It's a real honor, and we do appreciate everyone who took the time to vote. Earlier in the year, we were voted the best roofing company in the best of Ascension. So we take that very seriously. That is a complete listener, consumer, resident vote. So we appreciate very much everyone who's taken the time to vote, who's given us the opportunity to earn your business over at Parrish Construction and Roofing. ParrishBuilt.com, ParrishBuilt.com, ParrishBuilt.com. Y'all, we're getting to storm season. So if you find yourself in need of roof repair, roof replacement, and inspection before storm season, ParrishBuilt.com. Go to the website. Commercial, residential, repairs, replacements. We do gutters. We do soft washing as well. So if you want to beautify the exterior of your home or any building. Recently, we completed a soft wash job on the exterior of the LSU Basketball practice facility. You know, the statues, the whole practice facility out there. We just soft washed the whole thing. We got some other really fun projects at LSU as well. Potentially a giant cat's home. And we might be soft washing soon as well. That'd be pretty fun. You know, the big cat. Big giant cat, maybe one that weighs like 700 pounds that lives on campus. Might be cleaning that one up soon. Looking forward to that. Parrish Built. So, look, we can do that. We do your house. ParrishBuilt.com, ParrishBuilt.com. Do business with someone you know. Parrish Construction Roofing, parrishbuilt.com. Okay, do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference. The Alabama Crimson Tide.
Offensive lineman William Sanders missed the entire spring with a lower back injury, but the redshirt sophomore says he expects to be good to go when the Crimson Tide begin their summer workouts in June. He was on the Gary Harris Show. I have no idea what that is. But Sanders is entering year 3 at Alabama. As a true freshman in 24, played in just 2 games, and then redshirted. Played all 15 games this past season, so should have an even bigger role in 2026.
The Tennessee Volunteers.
Tennessee got a commitment from 2027 in-state defensive back we deleted his name here. Just trust me, it's a 2027 in-state defensive back. You picked Tennessee over Florida and Clemson.
The Florida Gators.
Elias Pearl, a 4-star wide receiver, picked the Gators, 5'11", 183, the number 55 overall prospect in the country, the 9th best receiver. He picked the Gators. He's the 16th commit for John Summerall's squad.
The Kentucky Wildcats.
And 4-star cornerback Miles Brown got his name. He picked Kentucky, did so on the Rivals YouTube channel. He's out of Martin, Tennessee. He's a 4-star, the number 233 player in the country. Picked the Wildcats over Tennessee and Louisville. He's the 16th commit for Will Stein's 2027 class. All right, there you have it. That is around the SEC. We're glad to have you hanging out with us here. Tuesday shows are powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana, sunequip.com, sunequip.com, sunequip.com. I do want to talk at the top of the hour. I want to give myself enough runway here. I want to talk about what's happening right now with Will Wade and LSU basketball. Because nationally, there are a lot of people who are teeing off on Will Wade. And they might be right to be teeing off on Will Wade. They might not be, but they might be. There's a this guy named Kyle Tucker, who is he's at Kyle Tucker CBB if you want to follow him. He is tweeting a lot right now about Will Wade, and the news that Wade is signing R.J. Lewis, the former Big East Player of the Year from St. John's, who left St. John's, went undrafted, was in the G League. Kyle Tucker, quote tweeted, said, Will Wade is assembling a hilarious roster of objectively ineligible players that is finally the answer to, what if Will Wade had coached LSU when there were no rules at all? Tucker also pointed out, what if every human being in power in the state of Louisiana wanted LSU to get what it wants? Quote tweeting Kevin Sweeney about guidance from NBA and all of the stuff that's going on right now. Jeff Goodman tweeted about Wemby, and Kyle Tucker replied, Will Wade is trying to sign him. Is Wemby available, by the way? Can we check to see if Wemby's available?
He's kind of busy right now in the Western Conference Finals. Maybe after the NBA season.
Everybody's got a price.
There you go.
I mean, he's on a rookie deal.
It's true.
I mean, what's to say that college basketball ain't going to pay more than a rookie deal in the NBA? I do have some thoughts on what Will Wade is doing right now. We'll get to that in about 17 minutes after the top of the hour. We'll knock out a break, come back. More heavy hitters across college football are planting their flag on the 24-team playoff hill. We'll get to that next. It's AFR.
After further review.
Right about the Watermark and the Renaissance. Watermark Downtown, Renaissance Southtown. Watermark is Baton Rouge's premier hotel property. Voted by you the best hotel in the best of 225. Gorgeous luxury hotel, part of the autograph collection from Marriott Bonvoy. You got to check out Watermark Baton Rouge if you've never been there. Awesome spot to go eat at the Gregory for any meal. They're open for breakfast, lunch, dinner 7 days a week. Sunday, they're open for brunch as well. So maybe you're looking to do some business downtown. Pop in, have lunch at the Gregory inside the Watermark. Maybe after work, if you're downtown, pop on into the Gregory and have a cocktail at the lobby bar there at Watermark Baton Rouge. It's a great spot. And if you've got an event coming up, a board meeting, maybe you're planning a wedding reception, whatever type of gathering you may have coming up, man, Watermark Baton Rouge is just the picture of old luxury meets new modern amenities. It's Watermark Baton Rouge downtown at the corner of 3rd and Convention. Watermark Baton Rouge.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
As a business owner, you're always focused on how you can improve the bottom line. Well, when was the last time you shopped your insurance coverage? Insurance Network of Louisiana can help. If you're a business owner, let my friends at Insurance Network of Louisiana see if they can find you better coverage for less money. They always offer exceptional customer service and partner with only the best providers. So check them out online today at lainsurance.net.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. Look, back pain can sideline you from the things you love. That's why I trust Dr. Kevin McCarthy and the team at the Spine Center of Louisiana. Dr. McCarthy doesn't just treat symptoms. He gets to the root of the problem. From advanced injection therapy to minimally invasive surgery, they've got the expertise to get you back in the game. With 5 locations across Louisiana, including right here in Baton Rouge, quality care is close to home. Call the Spine Center of Louisiana or visit spinela.com and tell them Matt sent you.
Man, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
She thinks my tractor's sexy. It really turns her on.
Yesterday, Adam Rittenberg was on the show, ESPN college football and Big Ten writer from Ranchos Palos Verdes, California, which is objectively a better place to be on May the 19th than, let's say, Iowa City, Iowa. Can we agree? It's an objective fact.
No, that's true,
I don't
yeah.
think there's really a debate there. Birds chirping, beautiful, sun-kissed ocean views. Yeah, awesome. That's where the Big Ten meetings are happening because nothing screams Big Ten like Rancho Palos Verdes, California. I think my pronunciation was pretty good, too. The accent. Rancho Palos Verdes.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Verdes. Yeah.
You're too sharp on the V. It's Verde.
Yeah.
Verde.
Good thing I speak English. I mean, that's all I got to say there. Yeah.
5 years of Spanish right here, dog. Ruffles and ranches have ridges. Roll those R's. And the V is more like a B, like Verde. Verde. Anyway, so Ryan Day and Dan Lanning, head coaches of 2 pretty prominent college football programs, they are throwing their support publicly behind the 2014 playoff. Ryan Day said, quote, "It's debatable whether 2014 playoff is best for Ohio State." You can go back and forth on that. But it's certainly best for the conference and great for college football in general. I agree. It engages more fan bases late in the season. Also true. Dan Lanning said Ryan Day is in the same situation as Curt Cignetti as well. Similar situation. Is it necessarily best for the program they have been in to say, hey, let's invite more? No. But is it better? What's happened because of the college football playoff is every bowl game has been devalued. The end of the season looks completely different. You're a failure as a coach if you don't make it to the college football playoff. It's going to create more opportunity. Just like March Madness is great in the spring for basketball, it'll be good for our sport. So Ryan Day, Dan Lanning throwing their support publicly behind a 2014 playoff. And they're not wrong to say more is not better for their programs because they are part of the haves. Oregon and Ohio State are part of the select group of haves. You want to stick to 4-12, like Oregon and Ohio State? I mean, they've both made both of the 12-team playoffs. So, yeah, it is objectively better for those schools to have a smaller playoff. It's less inclusive, but they will be more likely part of it because of their history, their brand names, all that sort of stuff. They'll get the benefit of the doubt. But they believe it's better for college football as a whole, which you know where I stand on that. Of course, I agree. It'll make a more, it will not devalue, it will make the regular season more important with more meaningful games later in the season. So you're not playing for the CarQuest Bowl. You're trying to get into a playoff, or you're trying to secure a home game, or you're trying to secure a bye in the first round. Like, there's tons of meaning in those games. Still, Greg Sankey trying to fight the rest of college football. He was on Feinbaum Monday, and he's holding pat at 16.
When we met with our presidents in January, there wasn't enough information to justify just leaping to 24. So contrary, I read an article this morning that said we'd never vote for 24. What you will hear next week is a lot of our coaches, a lot of our athletics directors certainly, and probably some others think 24 is the right direction. What we've said is that could ultimately be the proper direction. We just don't think you leap to that without information. And research and understanding the marketplace informs decisions and should, whether it's 16, which is where we've said is the right direction. A year ago we said, with good rationale, that's the right direction. Right now, that's our position. And we'll see if there's information that leads us in a different way.
He's already starting to soften. Greg Sankey has said pretty directly that 16 is his preferred postseason choice, and he's already starting to soften. It's not never 24. We just need more information about 24. Okay. The door is ajar, even if ever so slightly, which means eventually it will continue to open wide, and we'll get more comfortable with it, and that'll be the direction we go. Whether that's in 2027 or 2028 or whenever it'll be, that's where we are eventually headed. And we are eventually headed there because of things like what's going on with Clemson, who is in a massive and growing amount of debt. I'll tell you about that in just a second. We are brought to you by South Point Volkswagen, southpointvw.com. New certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online, southpointvw.com, southpointvw.com. Hey, graduation's here. Maybe that high school grad heading off to college, you need to get them their first vehicle. South Point Volkswagen. Maybe the college grad, you want to start them on life with a little bit of a leg up with a new vehicle? South Point Volkswagen. Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer. You want something safe and affordable? They want something stylish and fun to drive? Check, 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 check. Volkswagen, and manufactured in their Chattanooga, Tennessee plant right here in the good old US of A. It's South Point Volkswagen. Best selection, best prices, Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer. Airline just north of Highland, southpointvw.com. South Point Volkswagen, what's your direction? So according to reports, this was at Yahoo today, Clemson has debt that has now climbed to $1.5 billion, with long-term liabilities closer to $2.65 billion. A big part of that, obviously, is facilities and stadium expansion and all that sort of stuff. And at a time when spending continues to rise, spending is increasing, those debt payments aren't getting smaller, and you need new revenue streams. Look, I'm all for jersey patches, field logos, naming rights to buildings. All that is new revenue. And that will help. But that ain't going to get you out of $1.5 billion of debt. How do you make those debt payments? You better either dramatically reduce expenses or dramatically increase revenue. Surest way to do that, we've talked about it, y'all. TV, private equity. I'm expecting both are going to happen sooner than later. Hour 2 next.
After further review.
Man, I love telling you about Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Windows, doors, siding, shutters, and shades. It's Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Hey, remember, at Relief Windows, they have those impact resistance, those storm force impact resistant windows. You probably have seen those commercials over the year where Brandon Holly's got like a crowbar and he's hitting a window and it won't break. Well, those are those impact resistant windows. They're Cat 5 storm approved in Miami-Dade County. That tells you what type of, like how sturdy those windows are. So the thing I've got to remind you is, number one, that's going to add an extra layer of security from your home, not just from intruders, but also from something like storms, if there's flying debris or anything like that. It'll keep your home and your family more protected. Also, they're energy efficient. So it's going to help lower your energy bills, and they're stylish. So it's going to help increase your home's resale value, lower your energy bills, add an extra layer of security and protection to your home, and they come with a lifetime transferable warranty. ReliefWindows.com.
Jordan Faber here with some exciting news. Faber Automotive has officially arrived. We're proud to introduce your new hometown dealership, Faber Chevrolet GMC. That means more inventory, better deals, and the same great local team. Now backed by the trusted Faber family name. Whether you're shopping or servicing, you'll feel the difference from day one. Allow us the opportunity to earn your business.
Fabry Chevrolet GMC. Visit us in St. Francisville or online at FabryChevrolet.com.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
Every ounce of Raising Cane's lemonade has been hand-squeezed that day from fresh lemons before being served over our signature crushed ice. Because when you make it right, you can taste it in every bite. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient, and the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit LouisianaPropane.com.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Chiefs receiver Rashee Rice sentenced to 30 days in jail after testing positive for marijuana in violation of the terms of his probation for his role in a crash that left multiple people injured on a Dallas highway 2 years ago. The NBA's Eastern Conference Finals tip off tonight with the Knicks hosting the Cavaliers in Game 1, 7:30 Eastern ESPN Radio, 8 Eastern ESPN. Plenty of big names on the floor like New York's Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns and Cleveland's Donovan Mitchell and James Harden. Mitchell has to be the best player in the series, believes ESPN senior writer Andre Snellings.
The Knicks have been playing much better team defense of late, but I think that Mitchell has an opportunity to kind of exert himself and play to his normal levels. And if he's able to do that, then I think the Cavs have a chance to win. If he's not able to do that, or if the Knicks are able to keep him contained, then I think New York's going to the finals.
Andre Snelling's on Freddie and Harry. Yankees ace Garrett Cole will make his season debut in his first major league start since undergoing Tommy John surgery Friday versus Tampa. Arsenal won its first Premier League title in 22 years after Man City's 1-1 draw.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy. Coming up Wednesday, I'll tell you what Wemby will do for an encore in Game 2 and why this series could be over quicker than we thought. It's Unsportsmanlike weekday mornings at 6, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's rock!
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. I'm Matt.
You're a loser, Matt!
Shut up, kid. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
You sir. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there, make it a good one. Toby Rowland, radio voice of the Oklahoma Sooners, will be here in 30 minutes. Preview tonight's ball game with LSU and OU from Hoover. Vandy and Kentucky doing the deed right now. Vandy's up 5-4. They were down 4-1 in that game, so they're bottom 6. Vandy leading by a run on Kentucky. Runners at first and third with 2 outs. It was Missouri upsetting Ole Miss in the opening game of the SEC tournament earlier today. Keep you posted. 5-star corner Joshua Dobson canceled his official visit to LSU. Looks like LSU's no longer in the mix for the nation's top cornerback. Shea was here last hour. We talked about it. I have some thoughts we'll get to here in a dozen minutes. The collective college basketball loving world right now is melting about Will Wade, who continues to add international prospects. And adding international prospects alone isn't necessarily in and of itself the thing that's getting a lot of attention. International basketball players have been a part of college basketball for decades. I mean, I remember back in the 80s when Dale Brown was adding Arvydas Sabonis, and they couldn't get him here because of a war in his country, something along those lines. But that's not, I mean, Garrett Hammock, I mean, there's nothing new, international players. The asterisk here is that Will Wade is adding old international players who have years of professional basketball experience. There was a report from something called Mozart Sports. It's a European outlet. I don't know anything about Mozart Sports or Mozart Sport. That Jan Madar has committed to LSU. Madar's 25. He'll be 26 in December. And was a 2020 draft pick of the Boston Celtics. He never played for Boston, went overseas, and has been playing professional ball internationally since. The report is that it's a $5 million deal. Now, specifically on the $5 million deal, I would like to point out just something logically that I hope this makes sense, all right? I don't know what the agreement is with LSU, Yamadar, assuming that Mozart Sports report is accurate. I don't know. Remember, schools cannot guarantee NIL deals. NIL is name, image, and likeness. You might be able to offer, hey, we think your brand is worth X, and you might be able to do X here, but you can't contractually offer NIL. You can guarantee a revenue share number because that's all, I'm using this term loosely. It's almost like salary. But we know how the revenue share, the $20 million, is divvied up, the 75, 15, 5, 5. LSU Basketball is not giving $5 million of revenue share to one player. That's not a real thing. So I would tell you, pump the brakes on the validity of a $5 million deal for Yam Madar. That's number one. Number two is, I don't know if he can get eligible. I mean, you're talking about a guy who apparently, Kevin Sweeney of SI has said that Madar's eligibility would, quote, come as a result of exemptions for military service as well as national team participation, which can provide another avenue for a permissible year of delayed enrollment. So maybe Yam Madar will be able to enroll. I certainly wonder so that would sort of satisfy the age issue there, almost like a Mormon mission. My question would be, what about having been drafted by the NBA? There are two other players, one that have committed. One is less ambiguous. It's UTSA guard Austin Nunez. Now, Austin Nunez, this is interesting because he played this past year at UTSA, but he has had a winding path. Started at Arizona State, went to Ole Miss, back to Arizona State, then to UTSA. He had an injury 2 years ago, so he had a redshirt year. So he has a fifth year of eligibility. He's committed to LSU. Last year at UTSA, played in 22 games with 21 starts, averaged a hair under 10 points and 3 assists per game, 89% free throw shooter. He's a 6'2 guard, 30% from three. Good depth piece there in Austin Nunez. But again, a guy going into his fifth year of college basketball, another veteran player with 84 career games played. Old veteran player. And then the one that's getting a ton of attention today is R.J. Lewis. Now, R.J. Lewis was the Big East Player of the Year last season in 2025. He was the Big East Player of the Year, spent time at UMass, and then was the Big East Player of the Year at St. John's, goes into the NBA draft, and goes undrafted. He signs a two-way contract with the Jazz and then is traded to the Celtics. I think I have that right. It might be backwards. It might have been with the Celtics and then traded to the Jazz. Either way, no, it was Jazz, then traded to the Celtics. So it went UMass, St. John's, Jazz, Celtics. Now, the asterisk here is that while he signed a two-way deal with the Jazz and then was traded to the Celtics, he never played. Injury meant he never played in a G League game or an NBA game, for that matter. It is certainly and widely assumed that R.J. Lewis is going to have to go the legal route to gain eligibility. Because it would stand to reason he's gone into the NBA draft, he's signed a professional contract, and now he's trying to go back to college like Charles Bediako did a year ago. Now, I will never allow anyone to accuse me of being a hypocrite. And when Alabama brought Charles Bediako from the G League, when he was playing games in the G League, back to college basketball, I spoke on how absurd that is. Now, I am hand in air. I do not have all of the information about these players. There's a report from an international outlet that I don't know if it's legitimate about Yam Madar. Nunez is legitimate. He's got a year of eligibility remaining. He's a depth piece, fine. And then there's this piece here that we're talking about with R.J. Lewis. I'm gonna do my best to get as much information about this as I possibly can, so I can make the most informed, give you the most informed opinion I can. What I will say, absolutely, is if what LSU and Will Wade are trying to do right now is the same thing Bama was doing with Charles Bediako, which is take a professional player and try to get them back into college, which is what it looks like it's going to do. They're trying to do here. I will absolutely, unequivocally body slam that decision against the wall. Because, and I'm going to remind you, I'm the guy who is the most pro NIL, transfer portal, rev share, all that stuff. Let the players get paid, let them make money, let them transfer, all that stuff. I am also the guy who has very firmly said, okay, you can make money, you can transfer, all that stuff. The NCAA has rules. All of these schools are voluntarily NCAA member institutions and abide by the NCAA's rules and rulings. And if these players are ruled ineligible, you do not go to court to sue the NCAA to gain eligibility. They are ineligible, you don't play. If the NCAA rules these players ineligible and LSU goes to court to gain their eligibility, I will be 100% opposed to that decision. I don't care if it's a 26-year-old who scored 20 points in international ball can help you win. That is stupid. It is stupid. It is absurd. It does not need to happen. I understand throughout the history of college athletics, there are weird circumstances and there are exceptions. And we see it in other sports. Matt Mauck is a great example of this. Matt Mauck went and played professional baseball, came back into college and played football. Zach Von Rosenberg did it. Joe Lawrence did it. That happens. Players leave to play professionally in one sport, come back in another sport. I don't necessarily love that, but that's allowed. There's a precedent for it. But leaving college to go play a professional sport and then trying to come back to college play the same sport is stupid. There is not a soul walking the face of planet Earth that can look at that and say, yep, we think that's a good idea. Unless if you were just sheerly and solely focused on winning, precedent, and the path to getting there, be damned. There's got to be a better way. And I'm not going to sit here and just backpat Will Wade and say, yep, that's the way to do it. Just go win. Just win, baby. No. For the same reason I crushed Alabama with the Bediako thing, I'll crush Will Wade and LSU if they try to take this thing to court. Now, if the NCAA rules these players eligible because of something I'm just not aware of, okay, great. Like, if it's within the rules and the NCAA says, good to go, okay, you're good to go within the NCAA rules. But if the NCAA rules against you, just like the NCAA ruled against Trinidad Chambliss and Joey Aguilar and Brennan Sorsby's ineligible right now, and they all keep going to court to try to gain eligibility, I'm not okay with that. And I'll never be okay with that. And LSU and Will Wade are not exempt. So I am willing today to take a step back, breathe, exhale, pause, wait, gather all the information, see what the ruling is for these players' eligibility, and then make a very informed decision when we get those rulings. But if LSU goes to court, I'm just preparing you. If LSU goes to court, I'm going to unleash fury on Will Wade and Verge Osbury and Dr. Wade Roos and all of the LSU administration staff, everybody that's allowing this to happen the same way I did yesterday on the president at Texas Tech University, who's allowing a dude that admitted to gambling on his team. They're letting him go to court to sue the NCAA to try to gain his eligibility because you're no better than if you let these guys play, you are no better than they are. Not okay with it. At some point, some adult in the room has to stand up and say, this is where we draw the line. And again, this is coming from me. the let them make all the money, transfer as much as they want guy. But the line is, the end is when your eligibility is over, in the NCAA rules, your eligibility is over, and you try to regain more eligibility by suing. That's where we have reached the line, the limit. Took us like 5 years to get there, but I've now realized where my limit is. All right, it's after further review. We're brought about First South Farm Credit. FirstSouthLand.com. FirstSouthLand.com. Hey, Tuesday shows are powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. If you want to buy that combine, you want to buy that farm equipment, First South Farm Credit can help you finance it as well. They can help you finance the land and the farm equipment. FirstSouthLand.com. FirstSouthLand.com. If it's that recreational timber property, maybe it's an investment property. Tax season just passed. A lot of us, maybe you need tax write-off. Talk to your CPA to see if buying recreational timber property might be a great tax investment for you. You know, you're going to incur expenses. Maybe it's good for you for next year. Call First South Farm Credit. Your first call when it comes to buying land should be First South Farm Credit. They've been first in agriculture for more than 100 years. If it's that recreational property, that hunting property, that 20 acres to build your family's dream home, FirstSouthLand.com. FirstSouthLand.com. All right, y'all, it is after further review. Now I got a quick break. Toby Rowland in 15 minutes. He's the radio voice of the Oklahoma Sooners. We'll preview LSU Oklahoma from Hoover. When we come back, though, Joshua Dobson, 5-star number one corner in the country, has canceled his official visit to LSU. It looks like LSU's off the board now. Why? We'll talk about that next. It's AFR.
AFR. REV.
RevFiber.com. RevFiber.com. A few months ago, Rev came in my neighborhood. They laid fiber, and we immediately switched to Rev. Why? Why not? Like, seriously. Fiber network, lightning fast speeds up to 5 gigs, better price, local service. The better question is, like, why wouldn't you? I mean, there's that other cable company that does cable internet, all that stuff, that everyone loves to complain about all the time. But for so long, you felt like that was your only option. They ain't your only option. You have a local option that has lightning fast internet speeds, better prices, local service, and an all-fiber network. It's Rev. R-E-V. Go to RevFiber.com, RevFiber.com. Home or for your business, Rev Fiber can help you out. Get that quote today. R-E-V, RevFiber.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient. And you will have your pool in no time.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com.
Big shout out to our friends at River Parish Contractors who were recently awarded the Safety Excellence Award from the Gulf Coast Safety Council. You know this as well as I do. You do not get hired to do work inside the fence if you don't have an exemplary safety record. Well, here you have River Parish Contractors winning the Safety Excellence Award from the Gulf Coast Safety Council. You want to get building? You want River Parish Contractors. They're local. They're awesome people that do great work. rpcontractors.com. rpcontractors.com. Industrial fabrication and construction experts. It's River Parish Contractors. And River Parish Contractors, y'all, they are hiring. Work all the overtime you want. Day or night shifts. All the benefits. 401k. Paid time off. And you're home with your family every night. Call Big Jake at River Parish Contractors. rpcontractors.com.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Hey, tomorrow morning, a Wednesday morning, Hester and Flynn are going to be over at First American Bank in Dutchtown for the American flag giveaway. They're giving away 500 American flags starting at 8 a.m. Eagle 98.1 will be out there as well. Michelle Southern will be out there. So when they're gone, they're gone. So, of course, with Memorial Day coming up on Monday, what an awesome time to fly Old Glory and get by and get you a free American flag. And they're giving away 500 free American flags. They're calling it Let Freedom Fly, again, with First American Bank. Eagle 98.1, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge at the Dutchtown branch of First American Bank. That starts at 8 a.m. on Wednesday. So that's tomorrow morning. Go get your free American flag. A week ago, Steve Wiltfong dropped a Fong bomb when he said five-star cornerback Joshua Dobson, he projected him to Texas A&M. Well, a week later, so this was a day ago, we learned that Joshua Dobson has canceled his official visit to LSU. Instead, is going to take an official visit to Michigan. So he's down to his final schools. He will not visit LSU, is no longer considering LSU. For Dobson, remember, this is, I'll give you the quick bio. Dobson is an elite top-end level prospect, okay? You're talking about a guy that if you look at the On3 or the Rivals industry ranking, he's a 5-star. He is the number 1 cornerback in America. He's the number 3 cornerback. He's the number 9 overall prospect, regardless of position. So you're talking about a guy out of North Carolina that is the best or among the best in the country at his position, 5-star, top 10 player. Okay. And he's no longer considering LSU. The question clearly is why? Well, there's two reasons. It's money and playing time. And that stands to reason that would be the answer for darn near anyone. But I want to dig a little deeper because when I saw this news, it reminded me, boom, it brought me right back to the middle of spring. This is on April 14th. Lane Kiffin, during one of his spring press conferences, was asked about tight ends. And I've told you this before, but one of my observations of Lane Kiffin is that when he talks, he has an objective in mind. It doesn't matter what question you ask him, whatever message he wants to convey, he is going to find a tangent, a branch off the tree to get his message out there. So Lane was asked a question about tight ends, and it was like all the different skill sets that they had. You know, Tradez is 6'7", and they brought in Zach Grace, who's more of an H-back, and J.C. Anderson, the freshman, coming in is really tall, and then you got J.D. LaFleur, who's more of a prototype. Anyway, that was the question. The question was about tight ends and the different styles of tight ends. Lane Kiffin answered that question in a very different way, which gives you a glimpse into exactly why Joshua Dobson is no longer considering LSU. I'll explain in a second, but this was Kiffin.
I challenge our guys to make sure we evaluate who they are really, really well. Who is the player as they're coming out of high school? What is their mindset? How competitive are they? Because what's going to happen is most likely it's not going to go like they want in the first year. And then get into your analytics of, okay, well, if they're going to, or you're going to pay them, and then they're going to leave after year one, then what did you really get out of them from a business sense versus the money going somewhere else? So I really try to find that in tight ends, but in all of our players, okay, who really are they in nowadays setup that it is, so that they are competitive enough that this is the place they want to be at, and are they going to stay through some adversity, which is what they need to play through too as a good player. So obviously character was always part of the evaluation, but I've moved it a lot higher now because of the ability to leave, where before you got the 17-year-old, well, he was really stuck with you for 4 years. So he had to eventually buy Henry, which was never going to play. Now they really don't have to. They just go somewhere else.
Okay. I don't think Lane Kiffin is saying Joshua Dobson is a low-character person. I think what that illustrates is where LSU, under Lane Kiffin and Billy Glasscock, are focusing their resources. Let's look at, for 2026, this $40+ million roster, who the highest paid players are. Well, they're veteran players at premium positions. Sam Levitt, reportedly $5 million. Fourth-year player, starting quarterback, yup. Jordan Seaton, reportedly $4 million. Entering his third year, starting left tackle, potential top 10 pick. Yep. Prince Wiluman-Mielen, reportedly a 7-figure deal. All SEC, 9.5 sacks, 13 TFLs a year ago. Senior. Yep. You look at the cornerback position. You've got DJ Pickett. You've got PJ Woodland. Both of those guys conceivably are back in 2027. So follow me here. 2027, DJ Pickett's a junior. He's back. Maybe the number one corner in America, right? PJ Woodland, assuming he returns in 27 for his senior year, would be a fourth-year player, 2-year starter, 3-year major contributor. You're going to pay both those guys. You prioritize getting both them back this year. Jakeem Jackson, highly rated guy coming out of high school, undeniably your number 3 this year. He's basically had his career, his playing time cut because of injury, but he's your number 3 right now. He's got eligibility in 2027. And then there's Haven Finney. Haven Finney was the number 1 corner in America for 2027 who reclassified. So next year when he's a freshman at LSU, should be his senior year in high school. But he was rated higher than Dobson in this class. He will already have been on LSU's campus for a year. That's 4. If Dobson came here, at best, he'd be your number 5 corner from jump. Now, maybe he could pass somebody. That certainly happens. Look, PJ Woodland beat out Ashton Stamps, which is why Stamps is now at Arizona State. So it happens. I'm not saying he couldn't surpass somebody. I'm just saying Dobson would be walking into a position group in 27 where there's 4 guys with experience ahead of him. And you could even throw in maybe Aiden Anding as well, who will be coming off an injury but should be back next year. That's a crowded room, so you're probably not looking to overpay for an incoming freshman when you have so much invested already in that position with guys like Pickett and Woodland and Jackson and so on, and Finney. Does that make sense? And so then I can point out examples that would make sense of what Lane said. When you pay guys that come in, it doesn't go well, and they leave, what about Lance Hurd? Lance Hurd was a 5-star offensive tackle. Came to LSU for 1 year, sat, transferred. Played at Tennessee for a couple of years. Now he's at Kentucky. Was that a good investment for LSU for a year? What happened this weekend? 5-star offensive lineman Mark Matthews out of Lauderdale committed to A&M. Congrats, A&M. You landed a 5-star offensive tackle out of the state of Florida. You paid him a ton. Great. What if he doesn't play next year as a freshman, sits the bench? Then you've made a large investment in a player that didn't contribute for you next year, and then he leaves. Then what happens? Same situation as Lance Hurd. I think what we're seeing, and by the way, I'm not criticizing the decision that A&M made to pay Matthews or if that's where Dobson lands. it might make the most sense for them in 2027. But there's also a very real possibility that you look up in a couple of years and those guys end up transferring and playing somewhere else. That's the nature of college football today. Lane has said, effectively, we'd rather invest at premium positions in proven college football players, primarily out of the portal, and sometimes retention. Trey'Dez Green, Harlan Berry, Braylon Moore, Whit Weeks, Pickett, Woodland, the guys they retained for this year. Everybody else gone. They identified the ones they wanted to retain. They paid them. They kept them. And that's what they'll continue to do. So it stings because it sure felt like LSU was leading for Dobson all the way along. But now you start to look at the financials of how this would play out and the playing time that would be readily available for Dobson initially available. And it makes sense why you're going to focus your resources at that position somewhere else. And then who knows? Maybe in a year or two, Dobson's in the portal and you make a run at him then. But I'd be more interested in 2028 at corner when Pickett and Woodland and Jackson are all gone. Then where are you investing your resources? Portal cornerbacks? Freshman cornerbacks? I don't know. We'll find out in time. But it's a player in Dobson I think you'd really like to have. But it also makes sense that you have to allocate your cap, quote unquote, which that's a term that Kiffin's used, on guys that are going to help you now. Because you're not signing Dobson or whoever to a multi-year deal. It's 1 year. So invest your resources in guys that can help you now. It's a different way of going about doing it, but it's a way that's worked for Lane Kiffin. Joshua Dobson no longer considering LSU. Tigers should be good at corner in 2026. Okay, it's after further review, and 27 for that matter. Let me knock out a quick break. Tuesday shows are powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. When we come back, Toby Rowland will join us. He's the radio voice of the Oklahoma Sooners. Tigers and Sooners from Hoover coming up here later this evening. We'll preview it next on AFR.
AFR.
Buying or selling commercial or residential. Think real estate. Think Darren James. You know, there are all these personality surveys where people routinely are asked the most stressful life experiences. And regularly, one of the things at the top of the list, aside from, public speaking and all, is moving. Moving is routinely surveyed as one of the most stressful experiences that people have. Darren James makes it his priority to make selling your home, buying a new home, moving, not only a stress-free experience, but an enjoyable one. Think about it. If you're selling a home, you're moving, whatever, it's a major life occasion that you're moving, maybe a new job, starting school somewhere else, whatever the case may be. Darren James wants that to be a stress-free, enjoyable experience. Agent225.com.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
The experts at Hood Dental Care want you smiling bigger and healthier than ever. New patients can get a healthy gums cleaning for just $89, plus a free exam and full mouth x-rays. A $376 value. With over 3,000 five-star Google reviews, 5 local locations, and easy online scheduling with same-day care. Hood Dental makes it simple to get started. And we always have other great giveaways for new patients. Check out hooddentalcare.com and schedule your appointment today.
Investing in a new roof doesn't have to be overwhelming. At Pelican Roofing, we offer 0 interest for 21 months because everyone deserves a safe, secure home. Trusted, local, affordable. Pelican Roofing, making quality roofing affordable for South Louisiana families.
Who bears the standard? Who sets the bar? It's not those satisfied by low-hanging fruit or by taking it easy. Now the standard is set by the best of us, by those who work hard. Dig deeper. Give more. At Sunshine, we're proud to provide John Deere products that work hard for you, the standard bearers. Find the dealer nearest you at sunequip.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. Look, back pain can sideline you from the things you love. That's why I trust Dr. Kevin McCarthy and the team at the Spine Center of Louisiana. Dr. McCarthy doesn't just treat symptoms. He gets to the root of the problem. From advanced injection therapy to minimally invasive surgery, they've got the expertise to get you back in the game. With 5 locations across Louisiana, including right here in Baton Rouge, quality care is close to home. Call the Spine Center of Louisiana or visit spinecenterla.com.
As a business owner, you're always focused on how you can improve the bottom line. Well, when was the last time you shopped your insurance coverage? Insurance Network of Louisiana can help. If you're a business owner, let my friends at Insurance Network of Louisiana see if they can find you better coverage for less money. They always offer exceptional customer service.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Tigers and Sooners scheduled for an 8 o'clock first pitch. Vandy and Kentucky are still in action right now in Game 2. Man, that's going to be a late start. Hope Toby Rowland's got his coffee pot hot. Voice of the Sooners, good enough to join us for a couple of minutes here. Toby, thanks for the time. How are you?
I'm good. I'm thinking maybe more like 8 o'clock tomorrow night rather than tonight.
Hey,
the current pace.
Is there any? I was looking at the forecast. I'm not asking you to play meteorologist, but like, is there any weather in the area tonight? I know it looks like there is some tomorrow, but any today?
Yeah, I just did a quick glance. I just flew in today, but it looks like today's good. It looks like we're fine today. The rest of the week is going to be dodgy. So it's important that we get 4 in today and then just kind of hold our breath for the rest of the week, it looks like.
Yeah. It's going to be Gavin Jones on the bump today. What's Skip Johnson hoping to get out of the junior lefty?
Maybe a couple innings. I think this is a bullpen day. They have a couple of times this year gone with an opener. So I would say there is a possibility that he would back Gavin Jones up with L.J. Mercurius, who has been a weekend starter for them. He has not pitched well lately, so he fell out of the rotation this past weekend against Tennessee in favor of his younger brother, Xander, who got the start and was good. But I would say that L.J. didn't pitch much, so we're kind of keeping our antennas up that maybe that's the game plan tonight, to see if Gavin can get him off to a good start. They have had an awful time, and LSU's series down at Baton Rouge was a good example. They've had an awful time in game ones in conference play. They went 3-7 in openers, and really it was the first couple of innings of conference openers where they're walking a ton of guys and falling way behind early. So this might be an effort to just get off to a better start with a little bit of a veteran lefty tonight. I don't know. Maybe he intends to bullpen it the whole way and throw 6 or 7 guys. We'll see.
You mentioned the LSU series. That was a series where the Sooners scored only 9 runs in 3 games and won the series. How different, if at all, is Oklahoma today than they were week 2 of conference play?
I think they're kind of the opposite team. You know, back early, first half of the season and the first 2 or 3 weeks of conference play, it was a team that really leaned on its pitching. They were not scoring many runs at all, and that series is a perfect example of that. The last month or so, everything has flopped, and it's not a good thing because they lost 4 straight series here in SEC play to close the year. But their offense has come alive for them, but they can't can't hold anybody down. They've given up 9 or more runs. I think it's 7 straight games now, 8 of the last 9. I know LSU's got a somewhat similar streak. I think they've given up 10 or more in 6 straight games. So this could be a high-scoring affair tonight. We'll see. But the pitching has kind of disintegrated on them a little bit. It looked like early in the year they had a really strong rotation with Mercurius, Cameron Johnson, and Cord Rager. And those guys have been spotty. Like, all of them have had dominant outings, multiple dominant outings this year, and all of them have had outings where they haven't got out of the first or second inning. And it's just become very inconsistent. And even the guys in the bullpen have become – they'll throw a lot of guys. They are very deep in the bullpen. We've had weekends where they've thrown 16 or 17 guys. in an SEC series. But it doesn't necessarily mean that it's been overly effective here lately. But the good news is the offense has started to really swing the bats. Dayton LaChance is on a heater, the big Canadian catcher. Deshaun Harris, who wasn't a factor in Baton Rouge earlier this year, is an everyday guy now in right field and is batting over 400 the last 10 games or so. Camden Johnson has continued to really swing the bat. Really all year he's been good for them. So we'll see if that continues or not. But the last month they have leaned more on their offense than the arms.
Sooners, and Toby Rowland's our guest, voice of the Sooners. Sooners are 14-16 in league play, and we always talk about kind of 13 as that magic number to get you in regional play. What is Skip Johnson's squad playing for in Hoover this week?
I don't think, it would be interesting if they won it, which is a long shot. But if they won it, I think they could potentially be a host. Their metrics are good. They're at 20 in the RPI, so you think if they ripped off 5 wins here, they'd probably be top 15. Their strength of schedule is 6 in the country, and that's not going to get hurt this week. So I think there is some thought that if they won it, maybe they could get one of those top 16 hosts. But in all reality, probably they're not going to win it, and they are a 2 seed. And so they're trying to be a better 2 seed. Now that we are seeding 32 teams, you don't want to get stuck having to play Georgia Tech or UCLA or North Carolina right out of the gates. You would rather be matched up with one of the lower 1 seeds. So I think that's what they're playing for. The latest projections that came out this week had just that, had them going to Georgia Tech. And that doesn't sound like much fun at all with a pitching staff that's struggling right now. So if you could get 2 or 3 wins here in Hoover and maybe bump yourself up the 2 seed ladder a little bit, then none of it's going to be easy, but maybe you get sent to, let's say, a Nebraska or a Kansas or something like that in their part of the country that may be a little more manageable.
Toby, what do you think is the best case for Skip Johnson tonight? How does the game play out?
I think if the bats stay hot, I know they're going up against William Schmidt, and I think that LSU is going to throw all barrels at them. I mean, it's all or nothing for them.
Yeah.
So if the bats stayed hot and they were able to get out to an early lead, maybe force LSU to press a little bit, realizing that their season is on the line, then that's probably the best case scenario. I honestly think probably Oklahoma goes into this game an underdog tonight because of the way LSU handled the pitching over the weekend, how fresh they all are, and what's at stake for them. I mean, they obviously are the more motivated team going into this. Doesn't mean that Oklahoma's not going to be fired up to try to end their season. I'm sure they will, but it's a tough test. I mean, LSU's they dominate this event, and they've got one path left to try to get in the dance, and it starts tonight against Oklahoma.
Yeah, desperation for the Tigers. For the 4th time this year, we'll see LSU and OU this time from Hoover. Toby Rowland, voice of the Sooners. I hope it's not too late of a night for you or for me, but have
okay.
a great call.
Great being on with you guys. Thanks.
Thank you. Toby Rowland, voice of the Sooners. God bless. It's probably going to be a really late night. I mean, it's just whenever you see the field pop up and your team draws the last game of the day when they got to get 4 in, just prepare and understand that I wish they would start the thing at like 8 a.m. As much as that would suck to have to start early, I'd rather that than play games into the wee hours. I mean, they're in the 8th right now with Vandy leading Kentucky 8-4. And then when this one goes final, you've got Tennessee, South Carolina, and then LSU. So figure 3.5 hours for Tennessee, South Carolina. If this one finishes at 5, let's say the next one gets started at 5:30. Conservatively, you're talking about a 9 o'clock start. Conservatively, right? For LSU and South Carolina, or for LSU and Oklahoma. All right, it's after further review. We're brought to you by Rouse's, official supermarket of the Saints. Rouse's.com. Man, there's always great stuff over at Rouse. I tell you all the time about the weekly ad. So you can get that on Facebook. You can get that at the website as well. So if you're shopping, buying on a budget, you want to take advantage of the great deals, who doesn't? You can always get the weekly ad to know what specials they got over at Rouse's, the official supermarket of the Saints. Rouses.com. Hey, sushi, $5 Tuesdays for sushi. Grab and go. Get on in there over to Rouses. Pick up your favorite sushi. Everybody in the family can get something different. Get their favorite. The hot bar is always rolling over at Rouses as well, so everybody can pick out whatever they want for dinner tonight or for lunch. It's always a great option. Tuesday, the hot bar menu items today on Tuesday, how about sesame orange chicken, General Tso's chicken egg rolls, fried rice, seafood rangoon, teriyaki vegetables, and bread pudding. Oh, my God. Her. Sounds pretty good, actually. Get on by Rouses, official supermarket of the Saints, Rouses.com. Rouses, this feels like home. Get some coffee, some energy drinks. And get it all there. Get all your caffeine so you can stay up to watch the Tigers tonight. Hopefully extend their season another day. All right, it's after further review. Thanks to Toby Rowland for joining us. Shea Dixon was here in hour number 1 talking a little Cruton. If you missed that, you can catch it on demand. 15 minutes. We'll talk to Zach Braziler. Braziler?
I mean, that's how it's spelled. We'll ask him.
We're definitely going to ask him.
Yeah.
He's going to talk about R.J. Lewis, who was the Big East Player of the Year last year at St. John's, went undrafted, hasn't played in the G League yet, but apparently is committed to Will Wade and the Tigers, and will have apparently an uphill fight to gain or regain his collegiate eligibility. So we'll talk about that with Zach coming up here in about 15 minutes. All right, Houston Tigers and the Pros to wrap up hour number 2 next. Stick around.
AFR.
We're brought to you by River City's 1 hour air, where they're always on time, or you don't pay a dime. 752-0001, 752-0001, or 1hourbr.com. Spell it out, O-N-E, 1hourbr.com. Remember, when you call River City's 1 hour air, they're just the best. They're going to take awesome care of you. Their technicians are expertly trained. They'll come out to your house. They'll get the job done right at a fair price. It's one of the things I always love to tell you about is that they're going to give you, you're going to find this, they're not going to force service upon you. They're going to try to upsell you anything. They're going to give you 3 options. They're going to give you a good, better, and best option and let you make the decision based on whatever your family's situation budget might be. Mitchell McGuire sent this 5-star Google review. Cody was awesome, very knowledgeable, nice, good work, really equipped, easy, decent price for everything he fixed for us. Very grateful to have air again. And I had back surgery recently. One night without air was enough for me. It's River City's 1 hour air. 752-0001.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
Every Raising Cane's chicken finger is marinated, battered by hand, and cooked to order to perfection. We don't have heat lamps, because when you make it right, you can taste it in every bite. Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has the new 25 Jeep Grand Cherokee with $15,000 off MSRP.
Plus the 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou vehicles.
If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Today,
We are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Well, she ain't in the cars or pickup trucks.
Thomas on the text line. Thomas on the text line. Yeah, for like $10.
Another one.
He goes, oops, wrong text.
It's all right, Thomas. We appreciate it.
What do you think the $10 was for?
I don't know, man.
He's agreeing to something, clearly.
He said, yeah, for like $10.
He said, yeah, for like $10.
Maybe he's going to buy something from somebody?
That's what I'm saying. Well, of course. Yeah. Like, he's agreeing to a price. It's just like what do you think he's buying for $10?
$10. It's pretty cheap these days, man.
Ain't going to Taco Bell for $10, tell you that much.
No, you're not. Figured that out a couple weeks ago.
It's crazy. I'm old enough to remember 59-cent tacos. 69 cents if you got the soft tacos. I mean, you could walk in there with a 20 and eat like a king. Not no more.
The Taco 12-pack in general used to be like $10.
Crazy. I don't care what that meat came from. It tastes good. I mean, there was a time I'd roll up in there, give me 3 soft tacos, 3 Doritos Locos tacos, and a Mountain Dew. I mean, like, here's $6. Keep the change.
Keep the change.
Now they're like, that'll be $37.50. What? Crazy.
No lies told.
All right, Muso, Tigers in the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
All right, Dylan Cruz is back in the show.
Hey!
Called up by the Washington Nationals last night. He will make his season debut for the Nats tonight. He's in the lineup starting in center field, batting 6th against the Mets. 155 at-bats in AAA this season, hit .258 with 5 bombs and 20 RBI. See if he can stick up there this time around. Alex Lang on the bump last night for Kansas City in relief. 1 inning pitched, 3 hits, an earned run, didn't walk anybody and punched out 1. Gave up the deciding run there in that ball game. They really made it 3-1, and they never looked back. Hunter Fiducia.
Our
guy. Pinch hit opportunity a night ago for the Rays and just a romp of the Orioles. He went 1 for 1 in that opportunity. It was a single for Fiducia. He's hitting .265 here so far in the regular season. Jaden Hill got his 9th hold of the season for the Rockies. They beat the Rangers. Inning in the third, struck out 3, didn't walk anybody, didn't give up any hits. His great season continues. And then lastly, Aaron Anderson has officially signed a deal with the Cleveland Browns. Undrafted rookie, was on with Cleveland in a tryout basis, or I should say on a tryout basis in rookie minicamp. Now officially signed, will wear number 85 as they get set for OTAs. That's Tigers and Pros.
Brought about Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. You know, a lot of people will trade in their old diamond for an upgrade, like Beyonce said. Let me upgrade you. But really, if you got an anniversary coming up, I mean, think about it. You know, whenever you get engaged, generally, I mean, this is the case for me, probably for a lot of people, you're young, maybe not as far along in your career as you might be as you get older. By the time you hit a 10-year anniversary, 20, 25-year anniversary, maybe it's your 50-year anniversary, maybe you could take that diamond and upgrade it. Lee Michaels will trade in your old diamond, put toward the purchase of a new diamond. New, bigger, beautiful diamond. Look at Lee Michaels. Scott goes all over all over the world, goes to India every year on these diamond buying trips where, he's buying for 9 different stores. So he's formed great relationships. He gets unmatched quality. He can pass along great prices to you as well because at Lee Michaels, they're buying for 9 locations. Go shop today. Any of their locations. Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans, Shreveport, and online at lmfj.com. 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 For Lee Michaels, fine jewelry. All right, y'all, it's After Further Review. Glad you're hanging out with us here. Remember, you can always email us, tweet us, or text if you want to text us like Thomas did, even if it's just texting me, what you're spending $10 on. You can do it. Jeremy said he's buying a little bag. Musso knows all about that. Sorry, Muse, you can deny it. Quiet over there. Silence equals guilt.
AFR.
All right, Hour 3 is coming up here just after SportsCenter. Brought to you by Supper Club. Hey, Supper Club's back open. It's Tuesday. 1 week ago tonight, I was over at Supper Club. Had a great dinner with a client, and, man, we had an awesome night. Listen, every time you go into Supper Club, you can have a different experience, even if you've been a bunch and you feel like you've had everything on the menu. I've had everything on the menu by now. But every time you go in, for example, the Segrera cows. We talk about it all the time. They buy from Sean Segrera at Segrera Farms in Ethel. They get the full cow and butcher it there on premise at Supper Club. So every time you go, you can have whatever that night's Segrera cut is. So maybe sometimes it's bone-in ribeye, maybe it's filet, maybe it's flank steak. Maybe, you never know what it might be on that night that chef is serving up. And every time you get a different Segrera cow, it's a different experience. It's at Supper Club. Get on by tonight or any night at supperclubbtr.com.
If your office is experiencing performance issues like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files, Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging, and security systems, they help offices regain confidence naturally. Side effects may include uncontrollable efficiency, smoother workflows, and a sudden burst of office joy. Say goodbye to those emotional breakdowns in the supply closet and get back on track with Advanced Office Systems.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized, it'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. Look, back pain can sideline you from the things you love. That's why I trust Dr. Kevin McCarthy and the team at the Spine Center of Louisiana. Dr. McCarthy doesn't just treat symptoms. He gets to the root of the problem. From advanced injection therapy to minimally invasive surgery, they've got the expertise to get you back in the game. With 5 locations across Louisiana, including right here in Baton Rouge, quality care is close to home. Call the Spine Center of Louisiana or visit spinela.com and tell them Matt sent you.
Ever wonder why cane sauce doesn't come in a pre-sealed packet? It's because it's made fresh inside every Raising Cane's.
This is Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. Chiefs receiver Rashee Rice sentenced to 30 days in jail after testing positive for marijuana in violation of the terms of his probation for his role in a crash that left multiple people injured on a Dallas highway 2 years ago. One day after the Spurs and Thunder kicked off the NBA's West Finals with a double overtime thriller, the Knicks welcomed the Cavaliers in Game 1 of the East Finals, 7:30 Eastern ESPN Radio, 8 Eastern ESPN. New York's 7-game winning streak has coincided with running the offense through Karl Anthony Towns, and how Cleveland plays Cat is one thing to keep an eye on as the series begins, says ESPN NBA analyst Iman Shumpert.
The Cavaliers are equipped to guard a Karl Anthony Towns, but the gifts that Karl Anthony Towns have with shooting the ball, as well as being able to throw that late pass, his ability to make sure that the floor stays balanced, the ball moves side to side, and that Jalen Brunson can pick his spots to be dangerous and get downhill.
Baseball Yankees ace Garrett Cole makes his season debut and return from Tommy John surgery Friday versus Tampa.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance can protect your small business with over 30 coverage options, an easy-to-use mobile app, personalized discounts, and more. Get a quote in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Discounts and coverage selections not available in all states or situations.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Yusuf. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. It's 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you are driving home with us. Will Wade is making waves. No surprise. But Tigers may have a legal battle on their hands with some of their most recent commits, including R.J. Lewis, who a year ago was the Big East Player of the Year at St. John's. But he went pro and now is trying to make his way back into the college game. Zach Braziller covered St. John's there and Lewis there at the New York Post, and he's going to hang out with us for a couple of minutes. Hey, Zach, thanks for the time, man. How are you?
Good. How you guys doing?
Very well. Thank you. Let me just start, if I could, with R.J. Lewis, the basketball player. Got to watch him last year when he was the player of the year in the conference. Tell us about the basketball player.
Yeah, look, really, really talented guy, really good college player. Big guard, but he can play inside. His first year at St. John's was, he came from UMass, was kind of marred by injuries. He had this stress reaction in both shins, so he couldn't really practice a lot. He had limited minutes. You saw kind of glimpses of it. And then in the offseason, he had surgery on both of them. And then the next year, he was great. He was the Big East Player of the Year. Some might have argued Kadari Richmond or Zuby Ejiofor was, were their MVPs. But look, he was great. He's a big guard. He's not a great shooter, but he can shoot the three. Can get downhill. You can play him at the three. You can play him at like a small ball four. I think a very, very good college player. He was a second-team All-American.
Mm. Why did he leave St. John's, especially in the NIL era, where presumably, Zach, he could have just stayed and kept making money playing college ball?
Yeah, look, his camp had been telling St. John's throughout that whole year that he was going pro. It was the family, it were the agents. He was dead set on going pro. I talked to him right before the draft about it, and he said, he wanted to go pro after his sophomore year. It didn't work out because of the injuries. So he could have, transferred. He could have stayed, but he was pretty dead set on going pro. So yeah, I mean, he was really determined to go to the NBA. I mean, really wasn't a surprise. You kind of heard it all year that that was going to be it for him.
Does St. John's? I'm fascinated by the non-football schools because they can commit their full rev share to basketball, not having to support a football program. Does St. John's spend the full rev share amount on basketball?
I wouldn't say that.
Okay.
A lot of the money that comes from donors. Mike Rapoli, a billionaire entrepreneur, is probably their number one donor. The school, they could go up to, I guess, 20 plus direction of the school, but that's not really something. The school isn't directly giving money to the support for the program. A lot of it is still donors. A lot of it is still through NIL. Mike Rapoli has been a huge part of their success the last 2 years since Pitino arrived. So no, I wouldn't say it's like all of it comes through from donors.
Okay.
I mean, from the school.
Sure. Okay, let's talk about what happened then. Take us to the draft. Zach Braziller's with us, New York Post, covers St. John's. R.J. Lewis now committed to LSU. We'll get to the legal situation in a second. But all right, take us to the draft. What were the draft projections for Lewis? Why did he end up going undrafted?
Yeah, it was a lot of mid second round, late second round. Maybe if someone loved him early, second round. I don't think anyone ever thought he was a first round pick. His kind of mindset, like I said, was he was kind of dead set on going pro. His agents were pushing it. His family thought it was a good idea, and didn't see like he had such a good year that it was like, how much can he really boost his stock? He'd be a year older. I think he's a little bit of a tweener. Like in the NBA, he's a really good college athlete, but in the NBA, he's not a great athlete. He's not a great shooter. I think people look at him as like a really good college player.
So what do you? I'm sorry, please.
Go ahead. No,
I was just going to. So he goes pro, he goes undrafted, and now he's trying to get back in the college game. What's your reaction to this news now of him trying to get back into the college game?
Yeah, it's considering what happened with Charles Bediako. I think it's hard for me to see him getting eligible just because he signed multiple two-ways. And the NCAA has kind of drawn a line here where, you can come from Europe, you can even go through the draft, but when you sign an NBA contract, that's the line they draw, and that's what happened in the Bediako case. But as we all know, the NCAA does not have a good record in court, so who knows? I'm sure LSU is confident that they could line up the right lawyers and they could figure things out. If he got eligible, I have no doubt he'd be a really good player for them. He's a really talented guy. His biggest issue has been injuries. I know this past year he had more injuries. That's why he didn't really, play much in the G League this year. He had more injuries. But to me, it's the question. It's going to be obviously up to the courts. And NCAA doesn't have a good record there.
Yeah. How is RJ the player, the person, the teammate?
Yeah, look, he was good to deal with. There's no doubt about that. I know me and the other guys who cover this team enjoy covering him. Sometimes the ball can stick a little with him. He can over dribble, but look, he's a really talented guy. He when his mind is right, he can be a really big time defender. Sometimes he doesn't bring that on a consistent basis, but when he wants to be, he could be a terrific defender. The one thing he struggled with at St. John's was when he faced, the kind of athlete you would deal with in the NBA, that wing athlete where he can't overpower them with athleticism and strength. He struggled. You go back to that NCAA tournament game they lost to Arkansas, where he really struggled against guys like Carter Knox. But there's no doubt he's a really, really talented player, and I have nothing negative to say about him as a person.
Zach Braziller, our guest from the New York Post, covers St. John's, where R.J. Lewis was the Big East Player of the Year a season ago, and now trying to get back into the college game. Such a weird times, man. Zach, we appreciate the time. Thank you.
My pleasure. Have a good one, guys.
You do the same. It's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Arco Power Systems, ARCCO, Arco.com, Arco.com. Arco Power Systems. Hey, look, this is industrial Generac generator power. We talk about it often, every day, as a matter of fact. Storm season, June 1. Hurricane season's here. When the storm's in the Gulf, it's too late to start thinking about your backup power options and solutions. So make that call today. Power goes out, what happens to your business? What happens to your business if you're offline? Hours, days, weeks. Plan now. Arco Power Systems. Everything's turnkey. Sell, service, install, rent your industrial Generac generator. If you want a permanent solution, you want a leased generator where they even maybe have it at their yard. And so when power goes out and you need to mobilize, you go pick it up, hook it up to a trailer, bring it to your facility. Or that permanent solution that's installed, like here at Guarantee, we have a generator on the back of our building. Do the same for you. Grocery stores, gas stations, banks, hospitals, schools, industrial facilities, you name it. This is generator, standby generator power for your business, your commercial building or facility. It's Arco Power Systems. ARCCO, Arco.com, Arco.com. Boy, it really feels like LSU is lining up for a legal battle with these last two commits. Or with two of the commits, I guess we could say. We'll see what happens with Yamadar. There's an international site, Mozart Sports, which is reporting that he's picked LSU on a $5 million deal. R.J. Lewis apparently is signed, but he apparently is headed to court. Nunez, the UTSA transfer, he's good. I mean, he had a redshirt year. He'll be a fifth-year senior. He's got another year of eligibility. But I'm going to be fascinated. I said it last hour. I'll repeat it. I just don't have enough information to know why, and you heard Zach just mention it there, like why the NCAA is good with international players who have played professionally, even who have been through the draft, but not someone like R.J. Lewis who's local. We've got a million requests out to people who just know way more about this than I do to try to get on the show to get some of the answers to these questions. Because quite honestly, I know a lot of you are confused. I am as well. This is new. And it feels like every case is subject to review from the NCAA for eligibility status. So I don't have the answers to tell you, like, is Yamadar at 25 years old going to be eligible? I don't know. I mean, he was a guy that was he's an international guy, never played collegiately. So is that subject to like the JUCO rules because he was never played collegiately in the NCAA? He was drafted but never played in the NBA. So he's played internationally. Is that like, are you gonna have to go to court over that, or is he eligible because he's the international rule? He's got one more year, like Will Wade talked about. Do you have that cut handy still from Will in the interview with? I need you to keep it. It's rusting. It's the first one. It's where he talked about focusing more heavily on the international guys. And it's interesting because he points out in that clip, Will says specifically, he talks about like 1 year, right? Let me grab a break. We'll come back. I do want to, there's one of my favorite off-season football pieces is the anonymous coach survey that Athlon puts out, and that's out. So I do want to talk about that. But I'm not done here, and there's opinions from guys like Isaac Trotter from CBS, Adam Finkelstein from CBS, all these people who have talked about this situation with how Will Wade is building this roster. So I want to dig a little deeper, and I'd love your opinions as well. Like, I'm serious. Like, I'm curious how you all feel about this, because I kind of feel like I'm going to be swimming upstream on this one. I feel like a lot of LSU fans are going to just back Will Wade with whatever he does. I'm telling you, if you got to go to court to get if the NCAA rules these guys ineligible and they go to court, I'm not going to be behind Will Wade and LSU in this one, because I'm no hypocrite. So the same thing about Bediako. It was ridiculous that he was eligible. The guy was playing in the G League. He was playing professional basketball and then came back to college. It was absurd. And it would be absurd if, again, not knowing the rules in the nuance of all these situations. If the NCAA says, no, you're ineligible, then you're ineligible. What do y'all think? I'm curious. Maybe, can we do a poll on that? Muse, can we do a Twitter poll? I would love to know, because I have produced content every day at scale for this audience for like 20 years. I really feel like I always have a good finger on the pulse of what you all are going to think collectively. I don't know about this one. Like, I know LSU fans are lined up in support of Will Wade. I also know LSU fans were crushing Alabama with the Bediako thing a few months ago. So now the shoe's on the other foot. Where do you stand? Interesting time. Okay, let me knock out a break. It's AFR.
After further review.
We're brought to you by Clegg's Nursery. 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. Siegen near Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. Tell you every day to buy local and shop local. Get on by and see our friends over at Clegg's Nursery. Man, what an awesome time of year. Springtime, one of my favorites, especially when it starts to warm up. It's pool season, but my goodness. Get on out and get by Clegg's Nursery. Bypass the big box stores. Just plant something and let Clegg's help you do it. Create that backyard tropical paradise. They got dippledinas, which I tell you about all the time. It's Erica's favorite flower by the pool. Hibiscus. They got certain in stock for 20% off the regular price. My goodness, get on by and stock up. Oh, I need to show Erica that. They got blueberry bushes as well. Man, check them out. It's at Clegg's Nursery. 4 locations. Buy local, shop local. Bypass the big box store. Tell them Ed sent you to Clegg's Nursery.
At Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer, we know you deserve value when you purchase equipment. Right now, take advantage of the powerful 3025 e-tractor for just $297 a month with 0% financing for 72 months. Tractor packages with a trailer also available. Whether you're tackling land, property, or projects, get your job done. Don't wait. This offer ends June 30th, 2026. Some restrictions apply. Visit sunequip.com or stop by a Sunshine location today.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has the new 25 Jeep Grand Cherokee with $15,000 off MSRP.
Plus the 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou vehicles.
If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient. And the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit louisianapropane.com.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around the clock.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Reading some of the texts coming in. Remember, you could text the show 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. That's my text line. You could also text our station line at 499-1045. That'll go to any of the shows throughout the day, 225-499-1045. Andy said, I think the R.J. Lewis thing is ridiculous. While I'd be happy in the interim that it would help LSU, him being allowed to play concerns me greatly about the sport as a whole. It would hurt LSU, but I wouldn't be mad if he was ruled ineligible. Chris said, I think it's ridiculous. Why not go get Anderson and Shores and Ianson to come back and pitch before they get called up? Makes no sense. I mean, that's kind of what we're talking about here. And then Jalen said, I'm with you and agree on this topic, but if it's within the rules and other teams are doing it, then we should as well to stay with the competition. I don't like it, but it looks like we have to do it right now. So Jalen, or Jason, excuse me, Jason Broussard. Jason, that's just it. Like, I don't think it's within the rules. That's the point. So I want to be very clear. This is where this is why I'm not like pounding the table and yelling about this today. Because I think there is a lot of ambiguity where I am being very candid. I'm telling you, I don't know. Like, there's a degree of ignorance I have. And people always sometimes are offended by that word. Ignorance just means like the lack of knowledge. It doesn't mean you're stupid. It means you just don't know. Like, I just don't know the difference between like the international rule. Like why we're having a different conversation about Yamadar and RJ Lewis. I don't know. Like, Yamadar was an international player, got drafted by the Celtics 6 years ago, never played in the NBA, but has been playing internationally, but was in the draft. Like, why would he be eligible, but R.J. Lewis wouldn't? I don't know, and I'm working hard to try to get people on the show who understand scouting and international basketball and all those rules much better than I do, who can explain this to me. But that's the point. If this is the cleanest way that I can say it. If the NCAA rules these players eligible, okay, great, awesome. It's within the rules. Great. If the NCAA says, no, our rules are clear, you're ineligible, and LSU wants to go to court to fight the NCAA, I would very much be opposed to that. That's maybe the cleanest way that I can say it. And there's been a lot of reaction. And listen, this was Will about 2 weeks ago on John Rothstein's podcast talking about how he's going to build this year's roster as opposed to how he built his year one roster at NC State.
You know, this year I'm going to lean a little heavier on the international route. You know, this is the last year that a lot of kids over there are going to be eligible, some of the older kids, because of the clock issues.
Yeah.
Just those kids have a lot of experience. There's just some natural things that they've learned over there that really help in college basketball and can translate to us in college basketball. And so we're going to do that. We're going to certainly get some of the best guys we can from the transfer portal. We've gotten a couple already, and we're going to try to get a couple more, but we're going to supplement that with some overseas guys.
Okay, so like Will said very clearly there, this is the last year some of those international guys are going to be eligible because of the clock rules. Okay, well, if they're eligible, I don't care that they're 25. I mean, LSU won the national championship in football in 2003 with Matt Mauck when he was 30. He wasn't really 30, but he went and played pro baseball and then came back into college and played football. Not exactly apples to apples because it was a different sport, but my point is, like, if it's within the rules, okay, great. Where I'm going to have a problem is if the NCAA rules these players ineligible and then LSU goes to court to try to gain their eligibility. And Isaac Trotter from CBS Sports said point blank, no, this is one that is going to go before a judge.
Yeah, he has no path to eligibility right now. They will definitely need to go to the court system to try to get a waiver for one more year of eligibility. The NCAA has held really firm that if you have signed a two-way contract with the NBA, you will not be reinstated eligibility in college basketball. And remember, RJ Luis had a chance last year to stay in college, right? He chose to exhaust that option. He did not stay in college. He bypassed the at eligibility date and chose to stay in the 2025 NBA draft. And that precedent is very, very similar to the Charles Bediako case from earlier this year at Alabama. When that went through and his temporary restraining order ended, Bediako was ruled ineligible because he had signed a two-way contract, just like Luis.
Okay, like that sounds cut and dried. By the way, I've been saying Lewis. I was told earlier today it was RJ Lewis. He was saying Luis. I was heard like it's spelled Luis but pronounced Lewis. Anyway, he's saying Luis. I could be wrong. Trotter also was asked, okay, like, well, what case can Luis present in court?
Lewis's representation is going to look at the 5-for-5 deal coming from the eligibility model and basically say, hey, he played 1 year at UMass, 2 years at St. John's, 1 year in the G League, did not play NBA minutes. He should be grandfathered in an extra year of eligibility. That's what they're going to make the case. I think they're going to get some pushback, though, because Lewis's deal looks awfully similar to Bediako's.
Then he said Lewis twice. What's he doing?
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
Is he messing with me? So I was right. It is Lewis.
Or is it Luis? He said
I don't
both.
know. It sounded like he did an about face. So that's interesting. So like if the 5-to-play-5 thing, if you're not familiar, the NCAA competition committee is considering a 5-to-play-5 rule where every player, there's no more red shirts, there's no more gray shirts, it's just everybody has 5 years to play 5. That's it. No 6-year, no medical red shirts. It's just 5-to-play-5, period. Well, if that's the case, does RJ Lewis have that extra year? Maybe. And if the NCAA says thumbs up, great. One more. This is Adam Finkelstein, who talked about his opinion on how Will Wade is building his roster.
I think this is very on brand for Will Wade, right? He's not just going to push the boundaries. He's going to try and reinvent new ones. And whether or not Luis is eligible, just like Yamadar from Israel, remains to be seen. But I think the other thing that we're not talking quite enough about is that all the attention is on these two players and their eligibility status. LSU is also starting to bring in some players we know are going to be eligible. They got a commitment from a guy named Bryce Desire just last week. He's 23 years old. He's 6'11". He's got a 7'3" wingspan. He's someone that places like North Carolina coveted, and he chose LSU. He's going to be an immediate impact big man. If they get Allen Graves to bypass the NBA draft, now all of a sudden they're going to have one of the better front courts in the SEC, if not the country. If you remember that Mo Diabate, the former Alabama and Kentucky product, is there as well. So the questions are in the backcourt.
I mean, look, the one thing that's undeniable is Will Wade is going to exhaust every option to make this team the best, most competitive team he possibly can immediately. And I am all for that. Like, I'm very much okay with LSU rehiring Will Wade. I'm very much okay with him pushing the boundaries and limits of roster retention and exhausting all those avenues. Portal, everything. Like, I'm the guy that's all pro NIL, pro portal, pro rev share, all of it. So wherever you can go to get players, great, as long as they're eligible. If they're not, that's where I draw the line. They're going to court to sue the NCAA to try to gain eligibility on a player that's not eligible. All right, let me know your thoughts. All right, email us, tweet us, text us, 225-396-4400, 396-4400. We're brought to you by Evermore, EVAMOR, evermore.com, evermore.com. Hunt just texted I got a sip of water. Hunt just texted our Louisiana Sports.net group that Salud Yang is bubbling up again. Remember, Salud Yang is the the player who is playing in Italy, who is that right? Is he in, or no, Marcio Santos was the Brazilian who was playing in, or was he playing in?
Santos was in Israel.
He's from Brazil. He's playing in Israel. Yang is playing in Italy.
Yes.
Salud Yang's playing in Italy. He's the 6'7" forward who they reportedly said was a $7 million deal. And apparently that's bubbling up again, according to Hunt. Whatever. I'm not pronounce all these guys' names. Here you go. Yeah, this is college This is a U.S. news service, college basketball content. They're one that has a lot of these, college basketball commits. 22-year-old Italian native, Salud Yang. He's from Italy?
It's not a very Italian name there, but, could be, sure.
The world does have immigrants, Muse.
Yeah.
22-year-old Italian native Salud Yang is committed to LSU. According to college basketball at CBB Content on Twitter, Yang was drafted 58th overall by the Cleveland Cavaliers last year's draft, played the past season in the Euro League. So apparently that's another one that a lot of these outlets now are reporting. Is that one where we're going to have to worry about his eligibility? But he's an international guy who was never playing collegiately, who was drafted but didn't play. He was a draft and stash guy by Cleveland. So is that any different than baseball, which drafts a player who never signs? I don't know. Drink Evermore. That's the moral of the story. All these elite basketball players, no matter where you are in the world, drink Evermore. It's the best water you'll ever drink in your life. Evermore.com. Okay. It's after further review. Let me knock out a break. When we come back, I want to talk about the anonymous coach survey from Athlon. Some of my favorite annual offseason pieces. We'll do it next. It's AFR.
After further review.
Get Gordon. Get it done. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. You've been injured in an accident. It's not your fault. Do what injured people in our state have done for 3 decades. Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon has a team of attorneys all over the state of Louisiana, and they have collected more than $3 billion in damages for their clients. Yo, if you've been injured, don't go it alone. Trust Gordon and his team of local attorneys in whatever market in the state you're in, to help you get what you deserve to get your life back on track. GetGordon.com, GetGordon.com, GetGordon.com. If you'd prefer to call, you can always do that. 888-8888, 888-8888, or go to GetGordon.com. You can see testimonials, client results, speak to an attorney, chat with someone all on the website right there, or just dial 888-8888. GetGordon.com, get Gordon, and get it done.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish Contractors can do it all. Mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. We are honored and humbled to receive from our clients in Google. Based on 5-star client reviews, the designation of our law firm is highly recommended. Whether you hire us at all, please give us a call, 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. Injuries happen when you least expect them to, making your life more complicated. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, we know this, and we strive to help each of our clients during these times. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555.
Ever wonder why cane sauce doesn't come in a pre-sealed packet? It's because it's made fresh inside every Raising Cane's every single day. Because when you make it right, you can taste it in every bite. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
Hi,
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here. We eat out here. We watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Always appreciate our friends over at Sunshine, newest location right there at the Piku exit in Baton Rouge off of I-10. Gorgeous new facility, but you know the drill. Bunky and below. You want a Deere, you're going to Sunshine. Sunequip.com, Sunequip.com. Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Annually, one of my favorite pieces of content in the offseason, which normally we get lists and it's just mindless drivel. It's people coming up with their own arbitrary lists of the 10 best that, the most important this, the worst that, the most anticipated whatevers. And it's just mindless drivel to get through the offseason that doesn't actually mean anything. Athlon does a piece every year where they offer SEC coaches anonymity to talk about other teams in the conference, and then they print the most interesting quotes. I love this. I read it every year, and I think when you give these coaches anonymity, that's like truth serum, and it will flow and flow freely. So I think it's fascinating to look at this. Let me not bury the lead. We'll go to LSU. And candidly, the LSU comments about Kiffin are not the most intriguing, which is odd because you would think, man, these coaches would love to just dish on Kiffin. But there are two quotes that they give from SEC coaches about Lane Kiffin. The first, sorry. Just scrolled right past it. My bad. The first, any offense that Lane Kiffin has had, they've been unique, they've been multiple, they've been unconventional. Schematically, with Charlie Weiss Jr., I think they're going to make people play 11-on-11 football. I could see them easily getting back to doing what LSU does. It's going to be a 4-quarter game against those guys every time you play them with the tempo and the athletes they always have. That's the first quote from an SEC coach about LSU under Lane Kiffin. The other is actually about the defense and Blake Baker and has nothing to do with Lane Kiffin. I was hoping we would get something about Kiffin, like something juicy that someone had to say about Lane, but instead it was something very complimentary about the offense, and this one's about the defense. Blake Baker does such a great job of messing with a quarterback's eyes. He's a really big pain on third down. Ultimately, it's about what you can get your quarterback to know, and Baker makes it really hard on quarterbacks with what they think they see and what the reality is. So those are the two quotes about LSU, which, again, doesn't give you a ton, but I do think it's interesting to hear those quotes from another SEC coach about LSU, effectively saying they're immediately offensively going to get back to what LSU does great with great athletes, and then Baker's defense is just awesome and makes it really hard on quarterbacks. The thing that I found most interesting are actually the comments about Alabama and Ole Miss. And you can go read this at Athlon if you want. But the two things about Alabama are things, probably not surprising, that I have said quite literally since I danced around like an idiot in this studio the day Nick Saban retired. And everyone is now starting to see it manifest. Quote, with whoever was going to follow Nick Saban, there was going to be a measuring stick on the toughness or softness of the program. Mm-hmm. The run game statistics do not vouch for toughness. They have to fix that. Losing Ty Simpson doesn't help that. The top 2 running backs are gone. 3 of the top 5 offensive linemen are gone. And Jeremy Bernard was a special player. Losing all of them doesn't allow people to play you honest so that you can run the ball. People are going to be able to play 2 high safeties, create multiple looks, and create issues for them. There's a coach sitting there saying Alabama is not tough, and they are not going to be good this year on offense. By the way, they were not good last year on defense either. The other, less descriptive, but equally as honest, double-digit point losses were never a thing under Nick Saban. Now they're a thing. That creates concern, talking points, and narratives, which is tough to deal with because the players see it. Bingo. Y'all, it ain't Nick Saban's Alabama. The thing I said from the day Nick Saban left. Not telling you they're going to be bad. I'm just telling you they're not going to be invincible. It is unmistakably different without Nick Saban there. And I think Alabama is staring down the barrel of a really tough season. And those idiots gave Kalen DeBose a giant contract extension when no one was trying to hire him. Dorks. All right, 3 coaches commented on Ole Miss. In the 3 games that he coached last year, Pete Golding was Pete Golding. He was himself. He naturally transitioned into his role while staying the same dude. That's going to be the challenge. Can he continue to rely on all the things that have made him a big-time ball coach, or is he going to try to be the anti-Lane Kiffin? A lot of people in Oxford want him to be the anti-Lane, but he just needs to be Pete Golding. It's a little abstract. I don't exactly know what they mean by that, and I don't really care. That's not a great quote. This one is, I think, honest that everyone can agree with. Trinidad Chambliss is absolutely the top returning quarterback in the country. He's a winner. He's got a feel for the game. He's got presence. He looks like he's got tremendous leadership skills. All that, I think, is true. Not surprising. The question that I have about Ole Miss is offensively, what can they be without Lane Kiffin and Charlie Weiss? And that's what this quote is, the third one. Quote, but can the defense be improved enough to let the growth happen offensively without Charlie Weiss Jr.? And that is the gigantic question. Because, yes, Chambliss is back. Yes, Lacey is back. But you lose a ton on the defensive side of the ball, and losing your head coach, play caller, offensive minds, I don't think it is just rinse and repeat for that Ole Miss offense. One other thing, here's a bonus one. How about this quote? Talking about Oklahoma. One line from an SEC coach talking about OU. John Mateer has a ridiculously high ceiling. Okay. Saw it early in the season before that hand injury, and it never really came back to form for the rest of the year. Another season with Mateer there in Norman? We'll see. All right, it's after further review. Thanks for hanging out with us, y'all. We're brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center. 924-2020, 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEye.com. Williamson, EYE.com for the Williamson Eye Center. Check out the Williamson Eye Center. If you're thinking of ditching the contacts and glasses forever, there's no one else you need to call. The great news is, if you want the absolute best ophthalmologist anywhere, awesome. You don't have to leave the state. You don't have to leave the city. Dr. Blake Williamson is right here. We're just super fortunate that one of the most forward-thinking, progressive ophthalmologists in the world is right here in Baton Rouge. I mean, Dr. Blake brings first-of-its-kind procedures to Baton Rouge. So, if you're thinking of ditching the contacts and glasses forever, no matter your age or refractive issue, Dr. Blake Williamson at the Williamson Eye Center has a refractive procedure for you to where you can spend the rest of your life seeing perfectly without contacts or glasses. You just have to take that first step. Schedule a consult today. 924-2020, 924-2020, or williamsoni.com. All right, y'all, been a great show. Glad you're hanging out with us here. We're going to knock out our final break, come back. Jimmy will be here for Outer Locks. Remember, if you miss anything, AFR On Demand presented by Breck Golf. We had Shea Dixon in hour one. We talked to Toby Rowland, the radio voice of the Oklahoma Sooners, preview the Tigers and the Sooners from Hoover. We had Zach Braziller here as well in hour number 3, talking about R.J. Lewis, the former Big East Player of the Year from St. John's, who's committed to LSU, but will he get eligible? A lot of that conversation is going to persist. So we're glad to have you here. If you missed anything, you can catch it on demand podcast or YouTube, presented by Breck Golf. They are underway in the third game of the day. No score. Tennessee and South Carolina there in the bottom of the first. The Vols hitting with a runner on first base and nobody out. We'll keep you posted. All right, final break of the show. Jimmy's here for Otter Locks next.
AFR.
I love a 90-degree day in May. You can keep that 50-degree stuff. That's for the birds, man. 90 in May means it's pool season, y'all. If you are dreaming and have been dreaming about a pool, you got to call Duplessis Pools. Go to DuplessisPools.com, DuplessisPools.com, DuplessisPools.com. You can even go into their showroom. They're on Airline Highway in Prairieville. Going south on Airline in Prairieville, go down a couple miles, you see it on the right. It's the corner of Airline and Duplessis Lane. That's just a coincidence, but it's a great one. Right next to the new Rouse's, if you know where that is. Go in and look at all the different features. Pick your features there or do it online. DuplessisPools.com, DuplessisPools.com, DuplessisPools.com. Go to the homepage. You'll see the Pick Your Pool tab right there on the homepage. Click it. You'll see 11 different pool designs. Pick your tile, coping, lights, sun deck, water features, all of it right there. You can even finance it at the website. Do it right now at DuplessisPools.com, DuplessisPools.com.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Man, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
If your office is experiencing performance issues like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files, Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging, and security systems, they help offices regain confidence naturally. Side effects may include uncontrollable efficiency, smoother workflows, and a sudden burst of office joy. Say goodbye to those emotional breakdowns in the supply.
Tell you every day, better coverage for less money. And man, my friends over at Insurance Network of Louisiana are crushing it for Louisianians on their auto insurance right now. Listen, if you have not had anyone shop for your auto insurance lately, you got to call Insurance Network of Louisiana. My goodness. They got some top-rated companies, Geico, Progressive. They're doing awesome work right now. This was an amazing story that I heard. They wrote one last week, saved the client $2,911 annually. They had a high auto rate with State Farm. They smashed it with Geico. They had another one save $1,476 annually with Progressive. They had Allstate and switched. Y'all, I tell you all the time, if you're just auto-renewing your insurance, man, you're probably overpaying and you're underinsured. Let Insurance Network of Louisiana help. lainsurance.net.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Down the stretch we come. Final segment here on a Tuesday edition of AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. One thing left to do. Let's find out what we're betting on tonight. Time for Otter Locks.
Otter Locks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance AC Repair. Same-day service means you will never sleep hot. 480-1000. We are Total Maintenance.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
Yo, Otter, what up?
What's going on, Matthew? How you doing, buddy?
Doing well, man. Good day on the diamond last night, but how about that upset by the Spurs? Double OT, didn't see that coming, man.
So yeah, I was struggling with the pick, but I went with the season. I'm going to tell you what, when I got word that De'Aaron Fox was out, I liked it that much more. So I solidified it, and I was, but I was a little bit worried of happened. Wemby is just too much to deal with. And I just don't. I know the zigzag, the higher seeded team, they lose the first game. They have the game at home. They win in coverage, a high percentage. But I will be on those San Antonio Spurs tomorrow and for the series. Pick them right now. I just think there's a lot of sustainability what we saw last night. And look, I know it went double overtime, but the Spurs were winning for about 90% of the game. So never was the biggest lead that OKC had at 1.58 minutes was just three points. I've shifted all of my support to the Spurs on this one.
Okay. What's the line on the series?
Pick 'em -110 both ways.
Okay.
So let's go to tonight's game. We're going to go with the with the Knicks and. Rest versus rust in back-to-back 7-game series. Some veterans on this team for Cleveland. Detroit was not your typical 1 seed. We talked about that a lot. I'm not sure if after the 9-day layoff they could pick up the chemistry, which we really were clicking, but I just think it's going to be way too much in this spot. The rest has paid off so far in the NBA postseason. We hope it does tonight as well. We're going to take the Knicks -6.5.
All right.
In baseball tonight, Ranger Suarez, we cashed last night with Boston. Let's go back to it. He has not given up a run in his last 2 starts. He is the second choice now for National League Cy Young behind Paul Skeens. American League Cy Young. Let me get this straight. I'll get it straight. So we're going to take Boston with the hot pitcher right now. So we're going with the Red Sox again at Kauffman Stadium against Kansas City. Trying to find the rest of them. Here we go. Tampa Bay has already started. They're down 1-0 early on. And then I don't know why this line is so short. Maybe a little bit of a pitching advantage for San Francisco, but not as of late. Both of these teams' records are similar, but I think Arizona is a considerably better club than the Giants. They're at home. They crushed them last night. We'll look for them to continue that. We're going to take the D-backs at home minus a soft number.
All right. You're getting plus money right now on the Rays because, as Jimmy mentioned, as Jimmy mentioned, that one's underway. So the Rays right now are plus $1.29 if you want to get in on it. They're down 1-0, but you can get it right there at home against the Orioles.
We talked about those lines being high. It's going down a little bit. Mets are throwing their best pitcher, but Washington is now the highest scoring team in baseball. Their pitching, Team ERA, second to last. That adds up to overs. It dipped down to 8.5. It is tempting. So if you need something to throw in a parlay, that game is in a rain delay, so you have some time. Washington to continue playing that over.
All right. So you got 3 picks on the diamond tonight. Again, it's Tampa, Boston, and the Diamondbacks. And then on the hardwood tonight, like in the Knicks, laying the number at 6.5. Where are you tomorrow, Otter?
We are at Iverstein Butcher on Perkins, just off of Essen.
Great spot. All right, Otter, we appreciate it.
Season, Memorial Day weekend.
It is definitely that, man. I will be in that number for sure. Thank you, Otter.
Okay, thank you. Good luck.
All right, man. Be well. It's After Further Review. We're glad you're with us. We're brought to you by Shaw Bills Tire and Auto Service. I've told you that Shaw Bills has helped you find name brand tires at wholesale prices, and they treat you like family. They've done that since 1968. When you've been around since 1968, treating people right, generally your customers become your biggest cheerleader. They have thousands of 5-star Google reviews. Melissa left this one. Shawbills has consistently provided stellar and quality service from beginning to end. I have a new car with barely 2,000 miles. My tires seem to have a defect. Mr. Wade on Burbank was so helpful in navigating me through the warranty process. This was my first experience at Shawbills, but regardless of location, I'm always blown away by how far they go to make sure I'm well taken care of and safe on the road. The employees are always a pleasure working with. Always a pleasure working with, and I love supporting a company based out of Louisiana. Thank you for everything. Another 5-star Google review, the type of which you hear all the time when you deal with Shawbills. If you need tires, go to Shawbills. If you need work done on your car, go to Shawbills. ShawbillsTire.com, ShawbillsTire.com. Shawbills! We keep you rolling. All right, just about done today, y'all. Glad to have you hanging out with us here on a busy, busy day. Baseball, Tigers against Oklahoma. Scheduled 8 o'clock first pitch. That's not likely going to happen as Tennessee and South Carolina are just finishing first inning here. They're in the second now. But after this game, 30 minutes, and then LSU will take on Oklahoma, see if the Tigers can extend their season. We'll be here tomorrow to recap and hopefully get ready for LSU and Auburn. Buse Pauly, thanks y'all. Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow at 3.
AFR.
Trust isn't given, it's earned. And at Our Lady of the Lake, they have earned the honor to be LSU's championship health partner. You know, I love telling you about FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake, every day for so many reasons. And yes, as phenomenal supporters of LSU athletics and the LSU Student Center, that's one major feather in their cap. But my own personal health care and my family, we trust the lake. Last week, I was having this weird heart palpitation thing. So Monday, I called Our Lady of the Lake Men's Health Group, got me right in, was able to see Dr. Boudreaux, had an EKG, the whole thing. Feel great. He explained exactly what was going on, nothing to it, heart's healthy, put me at ease, but they got me in and out, great service, access, convenience. That's what the lake is here for. FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake, the championship health partner of LSU Athletics. Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, together, we roar.
Jordan Faber here with some exciting news. Faber Automotive has officially arrived. We're proud to introduce your new hometown dealership, Faber Chevrolet GMC. That means more inventory, better deals, and the same great local team. Now backed by the trusted Faber family name. Whether you're shopping or servicing, you'll feel the difference from day one. Allow us the opportunity to earn your business.
Fabry Chevrolet GMC. Visit us in St. Francisville or online at FabryChevrolet.com.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. Look, back pain can sideline you from the things you love. That's why I trust Dr. Kevin McCarthy and the team at the Spine Center of Louisiana. Dr. McCarthy doesn't just treat symptoms. He gets to the root of the problem. From advanced injection therapy to minimally invasive surgery, they've got the expertise to get you back in the game. With 5 locations across Louisiana, including right here in Baton Rouge, quality care is close to home. Call the Spine Center of Louisiana or visit SpineCenterLA.com.
As a business owner, you're always focused on how you can improve the bottom line. Well, when was the last time you shopped your insurance coverage? Insurance Network of Louisiana can help. If you're a business owner, let my friends at Insurance Network of Louisiana see if they can find you better coverage for less money. They always offer exceptional customer service and partner with only the best providers. So check them out online today at lainsurance.net.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.